have you ever wanted to build a fuzz pedal with components that are old Soviet and in space? Well, today we're going to find out. I am Hello Sailor Effects, Joe, and today my co-host is...
John Mulholland, Space Wolf, as always, sporting the new facial hairstyle. Oh, I got to mute this. Holy crap.
What's going on, mate?
We were getting an ad.
I'd like to point out that Dan Mincher, before you say anything, I didn't have any technical issue. I was here on time, actually. And our illustrious guest today is...
Hey guys, I'm Ferry from Kaizen Effects. I'm from the beautiful Hungary.
My mate's wife's from Hungary. I'm not sure where, but she's mental, by the way. Absolutely mental.
Like most of us.
If anyone's wondering, you spell Ferry as if like ferry across the Mersey. Look at that. There you go. Ferry.
Thanks.
I've been dying to say that. In fact, as you can probably tell, I didn't have an intro for this one. I was dying to just say that, but I didn't.
Dan Mincher just said, I've gone American shopper. I was American shopper before American shopper even knew what it was. I'm Gen X.
So what gives a close up, mate? What's going on? You did say you were going to do it. I like it. It's very, very American of you.
Well, the secret to really good chops, or you got to grow a really long beard first. You got to get a lot of fur in there. So then when you trim it all back, you have the right amount to sculpt into the points.
I can't grow one. It just can't. My top lip just doesn't grow properly.
Hey, I was like so devoid of facial hair up until my mid-20s. Yeah, like a goatee was a major accomplishment for me. Like even like, just, a little bit of a caterpillar fuzz on my upper lip in college. I thought I was a man then, but now look what happened. I mean,
so we've got some awesome people in the chat. The usual faces are here. Craze Fandango, Dave Barry, Justin Drawbridge.
Hey, what's up, Justin? It's a rare occasion you can watch all night.
Get in.
Craze Fandango says, "What's a mercy?"
It's one of the best warships in the world, mate. HMS Mersey. Oh, and it's also a river in.
Well, yeah,
that separates Liverpool.
It's where the ferry crosses.
Yeah, come on, mate. If you're a fan of music, you should know that.
I mean, come on,
Oh man,
I think that's a little bit of tongue in cheek, but hey,
yeah,
it is Craze Fandango we're talking about. He's probably got the gold foil Speedos that are recommended on at this point.
He's actually sent me a vintage radio, a Valve radio. So massive thanks to you, mate. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. That'll be getting changed into an amplifier, definitely. Yeah, the cab looks. It's one of them Art Deco-y type looking things,
He says he's not old enough to shave.
I've met him in person. That's a lie. Although, to be fair, if you don't shave your head, I'd be surprised. He's got a proper skinhead.
Well, I still left all the long hair on. I think it's going to go into a natural mohawk no matter what because of the male pattern baldness on my mom's side of the family. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I'm going to have like the Viv from the younger ones, like the three fin. That's what my grandfather had. He had a three fin. He had one down the middle and two on the side.
Mate, I'm all about wearing a cap. It's gone for me now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what caps are for.
Yeah, exactly. Some quick. We'll get our housekeeping out the way. It's finally here. The Pedal Dive podcast kit for the kit build is here, available on the Hello Sailor Effects website. There's two different types. If you want to build on a live stream, there's one that says live right the way across the front of it. Don't buy that one if you don't want to build on a live stream because that'll just get in the way. There's 2 live kits available and 4 normal kits available. And that's because I'm limited on the enclosures it comes with. They will be drilled. And it does come with at least 1 vintage cap and some germanium diodes and stuff. Get them on the website now. I've left a pinned comment if anyone's interested. It's going to be the 6th of October. So that show, 6th of October, is going to be the pedal build show. And now that's out the way. we can get to some Soviet components.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And Craze Fandango said the poor guest is wondering what the heck. Unfortunately, he was aware of what he was getting into. He actually asked for this.
Yeah.
He asked for this.
Well, welcome to the hairdressing podcast.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, my wife did say to me before the show, "Don't go talking loads of crap and don't be on all night this time." We're off to a racing start. Haley, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Yeah, mate.
Hey, we're gonna have to pull a Bisping and like drag her onto the podcast like a Rebecca.
Mate,
Haley,
there's no way.
No way. She'll tap out.
She thinks I'm a geek, mate.
She'll tap out.
She's like, you're the world's biggest old man geek.
She hasn't met me yet.
Oh no. Well, she's 10 years younger than me, mate. So I am just
fair
an
enough.
old man geek.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Oh man. Right. Well, I'm dying to know, and I'm dying to get to it. Ferry, what is it that inspired you to use vintage components mixed in with the SMD? I don't know anyone that does that, apart from yourself, which is fantastic. When the first picture you sent me, as soon as you sent me, I was like, we're getting him on the show. It's fantastic. Like the massive spaceman, the old saucer sort of germanium transistor on an SMD board. I was just like, what the? It's like, it's striking,
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah. The SMD is those stuff that came later. For start, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I started to use these kind of components because I'm from the ex-Eastern Bloc. We have this kind of stuff in like under every bush, So it was cheap. It was ready. So that's why I started to use it. The SMD thing and the whole PCB design and this enclosure, like drawing on the enclosures and stuff that came later. For starters, I was just building stuff from reclaimed parts, like taking apart old TVs and vintage radios, because that's all I had. There was really no like web shops where I can get my stuff. I didn't know about it.
It's 2 seconds, John. I'll stick it on. Oh, no, wrong button. That one. There you go.
I don't know if you can see the transistors on it, but like they're all germanium. And
they look the same layout as the NKT style or the AC 128.
I have no idea what it came out of, but it's like you said, like just scavenged parts, and that's some of the best stuff you can find, I think.
It is. The Soviets just decided to put them in the radios. It's good enough for me.
So did you start off with PCBs when you were first reclaiming these, or did you go to like Vero board first?
I started with Vero board. Vero board, strip board, and I didn't really use like tag boards like you do. I just missed it. And like 1 or 2 years when I was going to get deep in this hobby, that's when I started to like design PCBs. Yeah.
Was that out of necessity with the fact that you wanted to move to the smaller components, or was it just a natural progression?
I don't know. Like, you can express yourself with these PCBs. Like, it may sound stupid, but it's kind of an art form for me. Like, draw there, just play with the component placing, like draw stuff from the components, like, Ranger Effects does. Like, if you see his PCBs, it's like a city with high parking cars. So amazing. I'm such a fan.
Same with Beatronics.
I'm just looking over here at all the PCB designs that I've done over the years and like how I laid them out. And, it's exactly like that. It's like, it's an art form in itself. And some of the old electro harmonics effects, that I've worked on and owned over the years, they were hand drawn. like they drew the resist on to the copper before they, hit it with the acid etching. And so they would write little messages to you, and tell you like things about the effect and who they were, on the PCB. It's just like one of those things that I guess as a Renaissance redneck, I'm one of those people. I want to know how to do it every way I possibly can. So,
yeah. I mean, it's like wiring. I feel like it's kind of like your signature. Some people, like if I open a Marcus Reeves pedal or an R2R pedal or any of these guys, I know who's built it before I see any logo or whatever, because it's kind of like a signature. And I imagine, I don't design PCBs, which is why I'm so keen to listen to how you come about to do it and also your thoughts on it. But it's kind of like that, isn't it? It's your signature, as you say.
I guess it's starting to be.
Yeah, exactly. So was there any particular builder who inspired you to go down the PCB route? Was it like on the forums or anything like that?
When I started, I didn't really have the resources to look at. I didn't look at any tutorials on YouTube or something like that. Mostly I just came. I don't know. I figured it out myself.
Sometimes that's it. That's just for me. That's better for me, because if someone tells me how to do it, or shows me a book or whatever, I kind of know it, but I don't know it until I've done it myself or worked it out myself. Well, like things that I did myself, I know inside out.
That's something that like I 100% agree with. Like once you figured it out for yourself, then you own it. It's yours.
Yeah. Yes.
So what was the first one that you did PCB wise?
Oh, first one I don't even remember. Like there was a Percolator clone which I wanted to make with Germanium transistors, like a Cyclade pair. It's a kind of an inverse of a Darlington pair, where you combine two transistors.
Yeah.
That was the first one. It was like this big, unnecessarily big. And then I've had the Spitfire, which was my first commercial PCB. It was a Fuzz Factory clone.
Oh, nice.
It was very different from what I am doing right now, because I'm getting better at it. So I always like shaping these little things and spend hours instead of sleeping designing these things, and it's amazing.
I just saw an interesting comment in the chat. Joe Duffield asks, how common is it for a pedal PCB design to need more than 2 layers? I would say extremely uncommon.
Yes.
Extremely uncommon. Like you're starting to get into microprocessor computer type territory when you're doing 2-layer PCBs.
Radio frequency stuff, like high frequency stuff where you need to separate the layers.
Yeah.
I've had 1 or 2 4-layer boards just because of space saving. It was not needed.
The only thing that I've ever had that had that dual layer, in fact, I think it might have even been 3 layers, was the amp one from Thomas. What is his name? The German guy. He used to work for Hughes and Kettner. He had a signature vintage guitar.
Man, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
Thomas. Oh man.
Somebody in the chat's gonna
he's
throw it out there.
He's the maker of blue guitars or something like BLU guitars. Plug. Thomas Plug. That's his name, because his company's Plug Guitars.
There you go.
Yeah. So he does like a pedal amp. It's got a valve power amp and a solid state preamp. Anyway, and the board on that is multi-layer, which I think's wild. It's
maybe
kind of
because
annoying
of the high voltage. You need to separate the high voltage lines. That's
I think that's it. Yeah, I think Blackstar might have ripped off his exact design. Like their thing looks so similar. It can hardly even be a coincidence. Like the board and stuff looks pretty. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not uncommon.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's only so many ways to put these components together in order to get them to function properly.
Yeah, but when you take the exact format of the size of the box and
Well,
yeah,
when you start painting it the same way and it's got the same knobs and the same graphics, that's a different story.
yeah.
Like we went through the whole Behringer cloning thing.
Oh man, I've still got that octafuzz to do. What the hell am I meant to do with it? It's all SMD apart from the transistors. Well, the transistors are SMD, but they put holes in for like full size transistors. So I'm thinking I can change them probably, but I'm not going through modding another small component pedal again.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I like jewelry making and watchmaking, but not when it comes to guitar effects.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, it's possible to mod these SMD parts because, but you need a steady hand and good eyes.
Mm-hmm. Magnifying lenses.
So what I've done in the past is just
the proper tools. Yeah.
Well, what I've done in the past is just like
the solder tweezers.
Unsoldered it and fit a wire to it, and then you can run a wire to a tag board and put a big tag board in the pedal with big components on
with
them.
a giant,
that's all I know.
Mullard cap on it. Cheers.
I did the DS1, mate, and I just unsoldered bits of it, run it to a tag board or whatever, and put big, massive, I don't know, 100-watt cap, 100-volt caps in there. Yeah, I don't know.
And that's your signature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
exactly.
Yeah. You wouldn't believe the amount of heckles I get online just from people saying that it's pointless. I'm like, well, I think you might be watching the wrong YouTube channel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're watching the right one.
Yeah.
If it's heckling you that much.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to see. That's the thing for YouTube. I'd love to do a video on designing a circuit, as in with this software that you use, like a step-by-step how to do it. But I feel like it's a rabbit hole that if I start going down, I'm gonna like lose weeks of my life messing instead of like building.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I completely concur. I went down that rabbit hole when I first started designing on the software and all the options, and I was able to, I can change this, I can change that, I can change this, and then I can make it look like this. I can draw this onto the PCB. I can make a little cartoon that has nothing to do with the circuit, but it's still going to be there in copper on the PCB, so people will know I did it. And so I started going down those rabbit holes.
And one thing I did want to ask Ferry is, do you think there's a difference between using SMD, or I keep saying SMD, tiny components that you can barely see, compared to through hole? Is there any difference in the sound or the way that you'd approach the PCB itself?
Yes, I've had these, I've had experiments where I just put the same thing on the PCB and then disordered it, like just these SMD parts disordered, and put the film caps and the whole quarter-watt resistors and stuff on that. It just sounded the same, but it was more noisy. That's by keeping down the noise floor is the first thing when I started to use SMD, because it's like quiet.
Yeah.
The sound is almost always the same. You need to know what you put on there, because you might have a 2.2 microfarad capacitor. I might use an electrolytic for that, but the software can just put the SMD parts in it, which is an MLCC cap, a small one. I don't like that. It's not really good for this big kind of capacitances.
Well, that was something that was something we've talked about on the show before, is in certain parts of the audio chain signal, the size of the capacitor and the dielectric plays a major role in the way the sound comes through. And that's where you can really start, adding different spices and flavors, kind of the way Brian Wampler likes to talk about it. It's like, when you understand what components in the chain give you, that area to experiment with, then you can really, dial that in and let the rest of the stuff, like you're saying, like, you want a clean power chain. You don't want, unwanted noise. You want wanted noise. I think that's like the thing that, and then sometimes, we discover unwanted noise that we want, and we're trying to figure out how to isolate that unwanted noise from the rest of the noise that we don't want. So,
yeah, that's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. That's why we keep doing it. That's why we keep doing it, I think.
But
so if you were to design a pedal and it's noisy, where would you go to first to hunt that noise down? Would you think it was something to do with the components you've used, or the positioning on the board, or maybe even the design itself? Which
mostly the position, and the traces. Like if you have a long trace for like before the input cap, it's gonna act like an antenna.
I don't know if Kyle Abishon has been in the chat yet, but he had some layout issues, and we think he may have been onto something. He had a JFET and a I don't want to use the wrong term here, buffer transistor, a JFET and a buffer transistor, really close to each other on his PCB layout. And that might have been giving him the issues that he was talking about that we were trying to figure out before. So layout. And like you said, the length of the traces too, like, how far something has to travel, how close it is.
That's the most important thing in my experience, but I still need to figure out, because sometimes I got a new PCB, sounds good on the breadboard, and it's noisy as hell. What can I do?
That's right.
Well, that's one of the reasons
you would think
why
it'd be noisy on a breadboard because the antennas.
Yes, but it's not because of the layout.
Well, that's one reason why I like using these pad boards, where each individual hole has a top and bottom. This one only has a bottom solder pad, because I can do experimental circuits and lay them out, and then have an idea how to lay out my circuit board based off of that a lot easier than on a breadboard. It's kind of like having like a prototype circuit board. That's why I gravitated towards those, and also why I started working in that as opposed to breadboarding, because it gave me the ability to throw it into a box and hear how it was going to sound shielded, rather than sitting out on a bench top with all the RF interference. And the way lighting has gotten, I mean, if you're around fluorescent lights and the ballasts and stuff like that, I mean, you want to talk about, some nightmare scenarios for transistors whenever they're, in the wide open. Yeah. So.
And you need to have the enclosure shielded, like as you said in one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
It's not shielded because you have a paint layer here. So you need to remove the paint from the screw just to have a good shielding.
That was such a game changer when Waylon shared that with the community. He said, hey, countersink the paint out of your thing so the screw makes contact and everything's one big giant metal enclosure, and pedals that I had problems with noise, suddenly it just disappeared. So
we've got a few questions in the chat. Dave Barry says SMD tantalum capacitors are meant to be way cheaper, ? I've never bought any SMD, but the tantalum caps that I use are the dielectric type. So most of the power filter circuits on board a warship, they use, instead of using just like a normal electrolytic, use them tantalum dielectric types. I haven't got any to hand. They're like a silver metal can, if you like. They look kind of like a paper and oil cap, like a Soviet paper and oil cap. They're great, but they're real expensive. I'm not too sure on SMD. Are they expensive or cheap?
Every SMD part is dirt cheap. So we are talking about cents.
Yeah, it's the industry standard for everything now. Like commercial electronics, it's all going to be SMD. You know, you're not going to find much of anything
integrated, like SOCs in the mobile phones.
Mhm.
It's all integrated.
Yeah. So Dave Lewis says, "What's the life of all of these old caps?" And then Byron Blue says 15 years on average, I suppose. Well, that's
no,
if you're
it
working on an
depends.
amplifier.
I have a lot. Yeah, I have a
exactly.
lot to say about cap life, and a lot of it depends on the type of cap, the construction, what it's used in,
how it's lived,
the environment that it's been in. I mean, I've seen caps.
So if you were if you were to take a Black Beauty cap out of a Gibson amplifier 5 years after it was made, I'd expect that cap to be bad because they are terrible. I know we all love them for guitar, and I use them all the time in pedals.
Because the voltage it was put through.
And it's just.
But if you had the same
particularly rubbish caps.
If you had the same cap in a guitar circuit, it probably would test great
forever. Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's kind of
as long as they got the outer plastic formula for the covering right, and it didn't like completely crack on you. Because that's the other thing people don't realize about a lot of the stuff from the 50s and 60s. They didn't always get their plasticizer to, component ratio completely right. I've like worked on guitars where things like just were turning to powder, and other ones it looked like it was, just as good as the day it was made. So just really depended on whether or not they mixed it right that day.
Yeah, it's the thing is, I don't agree with people who like just shotgun an old amp and change all the caps. Like it's an old amp, they've been in there for 20 years or whatever, and just change the lot. Like that is not necessary, and it's ruining history.
Well,
However, when they've got to go, they've got to go.
It is for the electrolytic, not for the statics. Because electrolytics will fail
eventually.
Eventually, and the longer they sit without power. Well, the longer they sit without power going through them, the quicker they fail too. Especially the older electrolytics, 100%. And we're talking about like a certain era of amps too. Like it depends. Like
and then you go and turn it on full power without.
We're talking about amps from the like 50s and 60s and 70s. Yeah, those electrolytics, they need to have been replaced a long time ago. If they haven't been replaced, they should be now. But if you're getting into the amps that are made in the 80s and 90s using more modern electrolytics, those tend to have a much longer lifespan. Like, as technology improved as far as manufacturing, I think the caps got better. So.
And here's a good point from Byron. He says he uses an ESR meter. I absolutely agree. So this is the one I use. I put a link. There you go. Hey, there's a link in most of my videos to get this.
Mine's not in reach, but I've got a similar one like somewhere here.
Hey,
I'm not.
They all
good condition. Good condition.
I've got one that was like build your own.
Mine's
kit.
been to war clearly.
It's I had the one that like showed up. I had the one that showed up as parts, and you had to put it together yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's the way I roll.
That's
the way my dad rolled. That's the way I roll. Heathkit forever.
I think this one's like a step up from that build your own one in my mind.
Yeah.
But they're about 15 quid. You can't go wrong.
I think when we got this, it was $5. $5 US when I bought mine.
I think it was 10 euros.
Well, you guys get everything cheaper. Yeah. Oh, so 15 quid. I'm basically getting seen off. Cheers, Great Britain.
Hey man, it was
I couldn't
the Wild West of like the early 2000s with Chinese technology. Man, you could get anything like for $5 in the US. I mean, seriously, like you went to the right magazine ad. Oh, $5. Okay.
Joel Duffield says, "Can it?" I'll put it up on the screen. Shall I? Why not? He says, "Can it measure PF? It can, but it doesn't give you a leakage. Everything tests good because it just hasn't got enough." to test. And Dan Mincher, being a legend that he is, says Joe's looks like the dog's had to go with it. I promise you, Gibson hasn't had it. It's just been at sea with me for like, I don't know, few years, 5 years maybe. Don't know. Yeah.
If your tools look pristine, that's a very big red flag. It means you haven't used them.
Exactly.
Well,
has anyone got one of these? The DCA 55
not yet.
transistor testing?
Not yet. No, I want the 75.
I'm going to. I know. It does JFETs, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, and
If
I
enough
actually
people-
want to get the combo kit because they make a combo kit that they sell the 75 and a static component tester that covers your entire spectrum. You pretty much like have everything you want as an electronic geek, as far as component testing.
It's like a good investment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you buy one of these, be prepared to change the ends, the grabbers on the leads are terrible. I've had about 3 of these, and I've had about 100 leads in total.
Oh man!
And as you can see, like one's been resoldered on. They just don't last. And maybe that's just me because I'm a little aggressive with my tools. But I don't know. I feel like I'm missing some chats here. So Craze Fandango says, what are the tolerances on SMD components? I think they're the same as everything else.
Yeah,
I think they're even tighter.
They're
actually.
making them really precise.
I think they've got them down to like that like zone of 0.1 or 0.1%.
It's like 5%.
Yeah.
Plus and minus.
Yeah.
The resistors are 0.1. Yeah. It's just great. The smaller the stuff, the more precise you can make it.
Well, and 2, I think they figured out a lot in the IC world. Like that was something that Joe and I were talking about with the MOSFET technology. Once they figured out MOSFETs and how they could incorporate those into integrated circuits, I think that opened up like an entirely new way of doing things.
Yeah.
And MOSFETs, MOSFETs, I'm really falling in love with them, especially in drive designs like we were talking about. They just do something to the signal, the way they respond, the recovery rate. Like they hit you in the face, but then they go right back. It's like you get a big blast of this tone, but then it tightens right back up. But then you can also add something into it, and you can turn it into something that hits you tight, and then hits you with something super dirty. I mean, it's such a versatile component. I think MOSFETs, we wouldn't be talking. The 3 of us wouldn't be talking internationally right now if it wasn't for MOSFETs. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
It's mental, isn't it? Like the box of rock. That thing is just that was my first ever real guitar pedal. Was the cheaper version, the Stortron, something like that. Anyway, I had the cheaper version, which I'm assuming was SMD, but such a good pedal.
Good enough.
If you've never built one, I do recommend it. They're fucking, it's got some gain on it. It's kind of to be fair, that pedal is kind of like my Kossoff drive, only it uses MOSFETs instead of JFETs. It's wired up that way. Interesting. Yeah.
I have something similar here.
What you've already designed wise is it? Yeah, Craze Fandango says, I don't see Joe moving to SMD. Although if he does, what was that? Hey,
he got you. Yeah.
To be fair, there'll be space in there for the foot switch then. Right, that's it.
You know what you need to do,
the pedal kit again, a foot switch on the side now, just for that.
That's exactly it. You read my mind. I was going to say, you know what you need to do? You need to send him a pedal with a foot switch on the side, so he has to kick it like a soccer player or a football player. I'm sorry, a proper football player. I forgot. I'm talking to
Let's face it, mate. You use your foot to play the game. if you use your hands, you're either a goalkeeper or you're playing a different sport.
I agree.
There you go.
You're playing rugby. If you're using your hands, you're playing rugby.
Do you know, growing up, mate, even though I'm from England, I'd never once met anyone who'd ever held a rugby ball in their life. Like, not, I'd seen them in the sports shop, like right at the top of the shelves in the gods. But being from Liverpool, just rugby isn't a thing, mate. It's either football or some sort of boxing and nothing else. Dave Barry says MOSFETs are really fast, as in the switch rate. Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah, that response time. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, and I think that's like the circuit that I really like is a bare bones MOSFET JFET circuit that I've been experimenting with, that I added diode clipping to. And the way that it responds, even when I put it in different areas in my signal chain, I'm just like really fascinated by it. I'm like, this is, you know, something I want to explore a lot more of.
Sounds...
Yeah, the two...
the MOSFET first or the GFET?
I love the MOSFET. Like I've worked with JFETs before, but the MOSFET, the 2N7000 in this design, I think that's the thing that really makes it special. So I want to like explore that a lot more and see, you know, how I can incorporate it in some of my other hybrid designs. Because I'm one of those guys that likes to take different circuits and then put them all together on a circuit board, you know, so that they complement each other the way that you would have stacked them already. Just have a pre-stack of those two circuits together. Because I've discovered, I've discovered circuits that way. You know, where I've kind of created hybrid circuits where it's like, oh, well, you know, I like this CMOS overdrive going through this, you know, particular fuzz, whether it be a fuzz face or a MOSFET fuzz right. And then so I make a hybrid of those two circuits. So it's just one pedal. And then you can dial in the way that those two circuits interact with each other with the controls that I put on it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is the Soviet MOSFETs available, I wonder?
Yeah.
I'm thinking if there's a cool way of getting an older. So which ones would you recommend to try?
I didn't even try any of that. Not yet.
All right,
but I know that we have some, like, but I didn't try it yet. I have some GFETs, like, from the Soviet Union.
Well, I'm thinking too, like with a lot of other components, things that I've discovered is like there are components that are overbuilt for what we would be using them for, that are available that you wouldn't think about, like those giant diodes, like the giant diodes. I mean, that I use.
Did you see anything like this?
Oh man!
Oh,
is that a diode?
I'm talking about the ones that look like you know the ones I'm talking about that look like. They
E9. It's like this big.
I don't have one. I don't have one here. They're both up. They're all upstairs. You know the giant.
I've got a load.
Yeah.
But
those
I've
things,
got a load of them just over there somewhere.
Yeah. You know, things like that. They sound great in a pedal, but they look ridiculous. You know, so there's probably like,
I love them.
There's probably MOSFET components, you know, that were used in consumer electronics. That you know are oversized that you have access to.
Check this out. Byron Blue says that they use 900 volt FETs as part of an output on a sonar. Love that. And then it goes on to say it's bulletproof. Mate, I'm all over that. I use 200 volt capacitors in my pedals and stuff. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I had an idea to use them big diodes and mount them outside the enclosure and run the legs through. Maybe put some sealant in there or whatever.
Do it.
So it looks like a hot rod engine or something like that, you know? It's like, that'll look cool.
I wonder where you got that idea from.
What?
I said, I wonder where you got that idea from.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I used to do it. I used to do transistors like the NKT 275s, just drill a hole and put them on the outside of the enclosure because I was like, going to see.
Well, some of your other enclosures too, mate. Like, you know, like some of your early enclosures, like you were like creating works of art.
Weird.
Yeah.
They were very weird, weren't they?
I think it's because you're surrounded by mechanical components constantly. Like you're constantly seeing like machinery in your like daily job. And so that aesthetic carries over. It's the same with me. Like, you know, I was always looking at engines. I was always like looking at aircraft. And, you know, so like it just started sticking, like, you know, this whole aesthetic.
Uncle Dan's vintage vinyl says more pinups on pedals, Joe. Yeah, I know, mate. My last couple haven't had pinups on, have they? What a tragedy.
You do have some good enamel badges, though. Those enamel.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah, those are sweet.
Mate, I've got a good one coming soon. A Noel Gallagher pedal with an enamel badge of him playing a Union Jack guitar. Like, this is going to be good. Is it? I've got some star fabric all over to cover it in, so rock and roll star, you know. And I'm going to see Oasis very, very soon in a few weeks. Yes, get on that one.
Nice.
Oh man. So, yeah, have you got a favorite type of Soviet like transistor or even diode as well that you would look for pedals?
Yes, it's this one. It's KT613. It's a very small, like UFO.
That's like a flatter one.
This is the MP16.
Yeah,
it's very small.
Let me write that down. It's KT613. What about it? Is it that you look for in them?
Because it's so versatile. You know, it's just a regular silicon transistor, like with the HFE about 150 to 200.
Yep.
Can work in everything. And one of my favorite circuits to build is the electro drive.
Me too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think maybe Beavis Audio was using these transistors in the Trotsky drive or something similar. Yeah.
Beavis Audio. No, Beavis Audio. He's one of the guys that got me into doing this back in the early 2000s.
Same.
Yeah,
one of the earliest guys, like I said, I just follow.
Yeah, Beavis and Joe Gagan. We need to get Joe on the show, Joe.
Absolutely. He is.
Gagan, he's one of us.
He said Jet's coming on the show, mate. Yeah,
I know.
He said Jet's coming on the show, didn't he? So I need to follow that one up. Actually.
We just need to, we need to just like stay on him.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to.
He contacted me.
Of mine was because of the Joe. You know, there was an article on Premier Guitar like 10, 12 years ago where he built this Electra drive. It was like just a full-blown tutorial, like 14 pages. That was the first ever pedal that I built.
Oh man, I got to send you pictures of the Noisy Cricket that I put into a remote control body car. Yeah. I put a Noisy Cricket in a remote control car that was designed by Jesse James from West Coast Choppers. And it had like a little blue monster guy in the top with his hand on the switch that you would switch back and forth between the like really gritty circuit and the clean circuit.
Amazing. Can I show you something?
And there's a little 8-ball on it too.
Let me get this. This one?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. An old Bakelite telephone.
I love it.
It's a base fuzz, like the single one transistor, one diode fuzz built into this, and this switch. It's wired as a kill switch. Sounds amazing.
That's class.
Just little stupid things like this.
I love that. Yeah. Well, you know, I mean,
I tell you what,
I've got things like this sitting around like a kid's key fob that I've like circuit bent so that I can like manipulate the pitch of the different. You know, you can't hear it but I can also plug it into a speaker and you can hear it. Like I can plug that into a cabinet and it's loud as F. I mean, yeah, this little thing, I mean, because it's got a little amplifier circuit that's driving a tiny speaker. And so I just put a 1/4-inch jack on the end of it, you know, tapped into it with a kill switch. So it kills the speaker. and then you plug that in. And if you plug it into an amplifier, I also like added a volume switch so that you don't blow your amplifier, because you can actually blow your amp head with this thing.
Amazing.
Huh.
Yeah, but it's a kid's toy key
Grace,
fob.
Grace Fandango with the one-liners. Is that easy to dial in? I tell you what, I showed my 18-year-old one of them phones, and he was like, "How'd you ring the numbers, Dad?" I've just never seen it before. Oh, right. And Uncle Dan's Vintage Vinyl says, if you want to play country music, that foam pedal will have to dial BR549. I don't know. What's BR549?
Yeah, I do. I get it. Big time. BR549. It's from Hee Haw. It's a phone number.
All right.
A
Okay.
band took their name. There's like a famous like super group called BR549. But it was one of the numbers that the operators on Hee Haw.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Soviet transistors I've been working with, I think they're the 266s, the PNPs.
Yeah.
And I've found that these work really good in Fuzzrite circuits as one half of a Fuzzrite. Because they're usually like a really low HFE.
Yeah.
Somewhere
low,
like
low leakage.
Yeah, like, and they're very low leakage as well. Yeah.
I've only tried the MP38s.
I want to get some of the
they're getting
NPN ones
expensive
too. I know, man. Like that's the problem.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I got a whole bunch of those to work with for next to nothing, and I'm not, up to.
I jumped straight onto ChatGPT when you said the product code or whatever, the KT613, and it says often compared to an early BC107, however, with a raw edge. So
nice.
Sounds good to me. Sold.
Yeah.
I'll be on eBay later on. Batches of them.
You may find some on eBay, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go hit up some like ham radio show, like that kind of thing that usually happens in the fall around Labor Day weekend here in the States. There's a lot of those kind of shows, and I've found some amazing. I know. Well, I mean, but so like I grew up in that kind of scene, so I know where they hold them, and I know when they hold them. So, but I found some of the most amazing deals on capacitors and transistors and ICs. It's where I got all my original 308s from. Yeah. I got a batch of like 60 308s for $1.
That's mad. And they're originals as well, aren't they?
And they're originals.
Well, you used to be able to get 20 MP38A germanium NPN transistors, Soviet ones, for like a tenner and then £10 delivery. And now you can't even find them. And when you do find them, they're like 50 or 60 quid for the same amount.
Or some of the shows that I would go to, you'd find them thrown into a grab bag of other things, just because the person wanted to get rid of them. They've had them for so long and nobody wanted to buy them. They're like, I'm just going to throw them in with all these Sprague capacitors so that I can get rid of them, because I know somebody's going to buy all these orange drops. It's like, hey, you got a bunch of UFOs too.
There's another component you've got to watch, because the newer ones are terrible.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of copycats. I mean, that once something became legendary as far as like circles and forums and stuff like that, I think there was bound to be people that were going to try and make a copy of it and sell an inferior product.
Yeah, and rip you off. Yeah, like with the GFET.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm lucky that I am using SMD GFETs. I have some.
Yeah, you're not getting real JFETs off eBay.
Yeah, I'm just really lucky. I'm really lucky that I was into JFET circuits like at an early stage, and I stocked up on a whole bunch of different ones: 111s, 112s, 113s, 201s, like all different kinds. Just because I was experimenting in the circuits that used them, so I have a lot of real ones, but. To try and replace those, like if I was trying to do anything production, they just have to be for like bespoke one-off pedals at this point. Like I can't incorporate that into a design unless I'm doing like what you're doing and using an SMD component that is going to be real.
Well, I like to use 5-Cuts pedals. He does. He sells little tiny boards that he soldered the JFET component to, and then you just run the legs off it straight to you, and use the little tiny PCB as a transistor.
Yeah, I love a lot of those. I guess what would you call them? Adapter type kits, where you can take components that weren't designed for the circuit, but put them on this board and then plug that board into your circuit, and the component works. It changes the pinouts or whatever you need to have it changed, and or the size.
Lots of old components like CA 3080, like the OTA chip.
Yep.
And you have the LM13700 and just little daughter boards to adapt.
Yeah.
That's a good solution.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question from Mr. Craze Fandango. He's obsessed with muffs lately, and he says, what went into the early Sovtech muff? And he's talking transistor wise. I'm not too sure. I'm sure when I took one apart, it was the little black transistors with the two flat chamfered edges on. I can't remember the
KT3102.
There you go.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, I knew they weren't the UFOs.
And Dave Barry says he thinks it's a BFY 51 or 52. That sounds good. And Crazy Fandango comes back with the Green Russian had a few versions, the early ones he's interested in. I actually don't know.
I think
to be honest, it probably was whatever they could get a hold of.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was the cheapest.
Whatever was the cheapest and whatever worked.
And like you cannot buy KT3102s anymore. If you can, it's like $2 or $3 a piece. It's amazing. It was the cheapest kind of shit that they can get their hands on.
Like the NKT275, cheapest transistor ever.
Exactly.
Until it become legendary, and now.
Thanks, Analog Man.
Or the LM308 IC. Like a just really shit op amp. A really shit op amp that because it got used in the rat and did whatever it did in the rat.
I have a Soviet analog for that.
Oh, nice.
LM308. Yeah, it's called like something like K140UD6 or something like that.
Wow, that would.
It's an exact copy of the LM308. It's going to be used in one of my designs.
Does it have the same sag rate?
Exactly, the same slew rate, the same pinout.
Oh, that's where the gold is then. Yeah,
in the slew rate.
Yep.
That's the most important part. Yeah,
exactly. I need to look into that.
Yeah, I have like 100 or 150 in my parts box.
Mad. The AI God says that it's a KT3102E in the first
Russian, if I remember correctly.
Big muff. Yeah, so I think the AI gods can confer with you, mate. I do that with everything. It's just so easy than searching Google.
Yes, it is, but
gives you the answer.
Just too easy. I don't even need to have to think about anything.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. Things like doing maths as well. So if I'm trying to get a resistor value and I have close to it but not quite, I can just plug in there and say, what do I need to put in parallel with it to get what I'm after? And it'll just tell me. In the past, I'd get a pot out, tweak the pot until I get the right value and then measure it. And it's just so much work compared to so much work. It's like 5 seconds. But you know what I mean?
I don't really trust it with resistor values, but I have an Excel for that. Yeah, like I have these little sheets.
Oh yeah, I love cheat sheets. Yeah.
That's
substitution sheets.
I'm doing university right now, by the way, and all we do is like cheat sheets and AI, and then fail at all the exams.
Yep. I mean, I probably need to go through all the documentation that I have because my dad's like hoarding habit of all the electronic knowledge that he ever came across. There's probably tables galore that are in these like 3-ring binders from the CREI Institute that he took these correspondence courses through. And, you know, just like other things that I've found, I'm like, what? You know, so there's certain things that like when I find them, I stick them up on the wall and then I always look at them. Like I've got like conversions for every type of measurement for capacitance. So I can like immediately transpose from picofarads to nanofarads to microfarads to you name it.
Yeah.
So
I've made a little sheet like for here when I'm using like these components placements and picking parts, because the software that I'm using, the company that makes my PCBs, like has this big like selection of parts that are basic and the extended parts. I'm trying to keep the costs down because, you know, when you are using an extended part, they need to change the reel on the assembly machine, and it's $3 maybe.
yeah,
So I'm trying not to do that and just use the basic parts. I have the sheet here. I don't even need to look at the website or anything. I can just choose the parts, and it's so easy.
Well, to be fair, that's an interesting segue. So what is the software that you're using to create these designs?
It's you know, I'm ordering my parts from GRC PCB. They have a software that they created, they developed. It's called Easy EDA. It's a Chinese software, Chinese company, runs good. I'm using a Mac. It runs good on Mac, runs on Linux, and on Windows, of course.
That's interesting. It makes sense to come out with their own software because then they understand what you're putting into it. Because if you're creating it yourself and sending it to them, you know, the way that you draw it might not be standardized for them, you know. So that's handy.
They can create their own limits, like manufacturing capabilities and stuff.
Yeah.
And the component selection and this whole warehouse that they have, I will show you later. It's so easy to pick apart and have the right footprint. Just amazing.
Yeah. So Joel Duffield, sorry. I'm saying Joe, look at that. I've got myself on the brain. He says he's been learning how to use dip trace. Is that another software, is it, for for creating PCB?
If I remember correctly, that's open source, right? I don't know.
But
that's a good
I'm
one.
sure there's a lot of them out there. Like I've only used Express PCB because that's what I got into when I first started doing this, and it's just always served me well.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's funny how we do that. We get used to something and then stick with it, whether it's good or bad.
Or
It's just
don't
like,
do it,
I know how to use it.
Yeah,
I edit all my videos on this software called
it's
Power
like
Director.
I've got
It's like the worst software in the world.
30 or 40 designs, you know, over the last 2 decades that I've put into their software. So like to try and transfer those over to somebody else's software would be like, I don't know if I want to do that or not. I've already put that many hours into it, you know.
So Craze Fandango says, how do we find Ferry? Website, socials? He's definitely on Instagram, I can confirm, and you'll no doubt see him on my next 1,000 posts from this show. But what about your website, mate? Have you got a website open?
Nothing else really.
Order pedals?
Like mostly shoot a DM on Instagram and we can work something out. I don't have a website yet because I need to just get more content to put on there.
Yeah.
And like that's all. Most of my sales are from, like, we have a website called GS Fanatic in Hungary. Like it's like kind of a Facebook marketplace but for guitarists.
Oh, cool.
You know, most of the time I cannot build enough pedals to sold internationally. So just for Hungarians right now. But we can work something out.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like,
do you have shipping? Sorry, mate. Go on.
Oh, I was going to say once you commit to like ship, Yeah, once you commit to like
We have
going
it.
big internationally, that's a whole different ball of wax. Like
Yes.
all of my sales
Yeah.
have been pretty much local, within like the music community and people that get it. And every now and then, somebody outside of that will contact me. But
Yeah,
All of
I'm
my
starting to
sales have
get-
been local to you too.
Yeah, it's
Or everything I make goes over there. That's why the tariffs are so shit, because it's so bad. Well, it's not bad for me. It's bad for people who buy from me. It's not.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's mental. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because I remember the time when if you ordered something from China, there was very little chance you were getting it within a month, and even then there was a chance that you might not get it.
I was going to say
Whereas
whether
now,
you get it.
2 weeks.
Well, they've got
now obviously
they've got warehouses set up in all the countries that they're shipping to. Like if you order something here from a Chinese company, they've already got the warehouse with the inventory here in the US and they just ship it to you from there. It doesn't even have to go,
in like a week, I guess.
Yeah. Well, no, 2 days.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can order stuff on Temu and it'll be in your house in 2 days from some of their warehouses now.
Yeah.
We
It is
don't
mental.
have that here. We need to wait for like 2 weeks, but it's okay.
Yeah, our market isn't big enough to make it worth it, I don't think. For the US, fair enough. Most of my pedals go over to the States. It's just that's where the pedal industry is for me, definitely. Yeah. I don't know. I think building a website was a game changer for me. Definitely. It's because I was relying on Reverb and they kept putting up the costs and I messing about with the terms and conditions. It was difficult. So I think taking back control of it was I think it's hard to keep on top of though, because my wife runs the website and I have no real input to it. So it's kind of like shooting from hip, Uncle Dan's vintage vinyl says that he didn't have to pay a tariff on the last pedal that he bought for me. No, because they come in this weekend, mate.
Yes,
this
late
weekend
August.
Yeah, and he had to pay a 50% tariff on a guitar. Jesus, that's it. That's a bit steep. Yeah, I think it's an extra 10% as of the end of this month. So from now on, but yeah, what 10% is nothing. I've got 20% off all my pedals right now on the website. So yeah.
It's the anti-tariff sale.
Yeah.
That's what you need to brand it as.
I put it on. I put it on as a summer sale. I should have waited another week and put it on as the anti-tariff. He charges me 10%. I give you 20% off after. But
there you go.
And very kindly, Uncle Dan's Vintage Final says that my pedals are worth it. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. Craze Fandango said, "What is Ferry's Makato? How do you say that? Makato?
Oh, Makato.
Yeah.
Based on.
Yes.
What's it based on?
We are talking about this kind of pedals. Like this is the Bushido series, the white one. All of them is named after, the Bushido, like the way you live as a samurai, and you have 7 virtues.
Yeah.
Like Makato is one of the virtues, and Shu also. It's 7 pedals after the 7 virtues. The Makato is based after a fuzz face, like it's a silicon fuzz face with the first one, the V1, was like modified a bit with a bias control and a tone circuit, like a big muff tone control.
Okay.
And the second one, the V2, which is all SMD, it's also based on the fuzz face, but with an input capacitor blending FET control.
Oh, okay.
And the bias. And it has a buffer at the end. Like it's something like the JHS3 series fuzz with a buffer at the end.
Yeah. That's interesting. What are you finding that the buffer adds to it? Or
when I put a wah pedal after the fuzz, it helps a lot. That's why I do it. Like I'm always doing wah pedals, and the buffer helps.
Yeah.
The next one, the V3, which I'm working on, will have a buffer in front and in the end, like a cube screamer.
Yeah. What style of buffer do you go for on yours?
Like a simple one transistor, like a Cornish buffer, something like that.
Okay. The Cornish buffer is brilliant. It's literally one of the best buffers ever. And it's just so simple as well. It's genius.
Yeah.
I like the Clon buffer too, to be fair. That's not many parts.
I was going to say, yeah, that's one of your favorites for sure.
Yeah, if you put a Clon buffer driving a transformer wired as an inductor, as like a pickup simulator, it's just perfect. It's so good. I mean,
I might need a pickup simulator.
Yeah. They're great. It is different to without it. So it's horses for courses, isn't it? I mean, if you like the interaction between specifically your guitar and the pedal, you're probably not going to like it. But if you have a big pedal board and use a lot of switching and stuff.
Yes. And I'm not the kind of guy who puts the fuzz pedal in first of the chain. Like, it's my whammy and the wah pedal and any dirt. But
Craze Fandango has a question. It says, can you use the Makoto after a buffer?
Yes, I am using it after a buffer because on my wah pedal I have a buffer at the end, and from the buffer it's also the same one transistor Cornish buffer. That's what goes into the Makoto, and it sounds great.
There you go. He'll be currently sending you a message on Instagram, I would have imagined. Perfect. Craze Fandango is the one who he put me on to the Caught by the Fuzz pedal from Funny Little Boxes. Who is on next week, John? Because I'm going to forget to tell you.
Not
next week. The week.
I'm excited.
Next episode.
Next episode. Yeah, that'll be great.
Mate, that pedal is just. I just love the look of it. I put it on my board just to turn it on and have the lights blinking on the board. Like, so good.
How about the lights?
It was actually sound that. Oh, go on. Sorry, mate.
I have the Cosmonaut here.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the Cosmonaut.
Here's the guy. And one of the greatest things, in my opinion, is the pots. Pots, slides.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
You see it.
But they have LEDs on top of them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no indicator light. Because why?
Yeah.
We just light up the slide.
Put it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's classic.
It has like 6 pins. I don't know how to show it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like 4 on this side and 2 on the second.
Mm. Yeah.
3 pins for the pot. And 1 pin is not connected. And the other 2 is for the LED. And it's amazing.
That's class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That reminds me of like vintage.
There's something cool about sliders.
Vintage 1980s hi-fi equipment where you had the graphic equalizer and each slider on the equalizer had its own individual LED light. Yeah. Just so you could see it. For no other reason than just so you could see it light up. And you could make like a really cool graph on your...
So cool.
It looks cool, and I suppose some people would say you play live, which I clearly don't. It's easy to manage on stage. If you want to bend down, see where you are in relation to your other controls. And I know the next question from Craze Fandango is going to be, how much does it cost if he was going to order one?
I don't know.
The conversion's going to be mental, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. I didn't even think about like sending something international right now.
Yeah. So the answer is there's going to be a conversion currency wise. So he does actually. To be fair, his next thing was Joe take note of the foot switch placement. I tell you what, I like the look of them black switches as well. That looks cool.
Thank you. It was a big decision to go with black because these screws are chrome, like the jack is chrome. I might go with chrome, but I don't know. It's too much black, isn't it? Everything is black. I don't know. I might need to switch the
I
screws.
feel like that's a good.
On black ones too. Yeah, because it's space, so it needs to be black.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So circuit wise with that one, what sort of things are inside that? Because I've seen the circuit, I've seen a picture of it, so I know what it is. But for the people watching, what are we talking about? What type of circuit?
It's just a basic harmonic percolator, like such a good raw circuit that when I was breadboarding it, I put it together with these MP16Bs. I just didn't know if I need to switch out anything. It sounds so good. But I needed to make it somewhat original. So I tweaked the EQ a bit. No real modifications. It just sounds so good. Yeah. It's simple.
And transistor wise?
It's an MP16B for the PMP Germanium, and like a 2N222 for the NPN, like a low gain.
Yeah,
I think it's from Motorola. It's a Motorola branded one.
Yeah, that's a workhorse.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made some fuzz face circuits using the 2N222s, twos. It's
like four
twos, yeah. And they sound amazing. It's like, so and was it the 3904 too? I've used the 3904 and I've also used a 3056 or no 3053. Is that right? The silicon one it almost looks like a germanium because it's in a big metal can. I use that as the silicon NPN, and then I've used the General Electric classic one that the original used. But I've also put the UFO transistors that I have in it, and it's amazing. You can get a lot of different sounds out of that one circuit, depending on like how you shape stuff. Yeah. Have you added like a third control to it yet, where you can control the bias on your PNP transistor?
Not the bias, but it sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll send you a schematic. Sorry, a schematic that I drew up. It's based off of 5 different schematics and then my own ideas. But there's a place in the circuit that you can put a variable resistor in there, and you can like go back and forth between 2 different sound profiles, like this completely like really tight sound profile that you've heard on some recordings using the HP, and then this completely wild, it wants to feed back as soon as you turn it on sound profile.
Sounds amazing.
Where like all you have to do is hold the guitar up and move it around and it plays itself. It's like you become a theremin. You turn this pedal on and then you go, woo. That's what I love about this.
I might get a proper tune out of that.
Oh yeah.
So Joel Duffield says, interesting. He didn't know, or he corrected himself. So it has both a PNP and an NPN in the same pedal. He's not tried the harmonic percolator yet. I did a build video on one, mate, if you're interested. I was really surprised at how good it sounded. It sounds raw, but also not like unruly. It's just like 70s rock fuzz.
Yeah. And it's maybe because of the even harmonics, or I don't know. But
it almost starts getting into octave.
Be interesting to get that on the scope.
Like there are times where I've dialed my circuits in certain ways, and I've used certain clipping diode arrangements that it starts sounding like an octave fuzz. And then when I run it into, especially when I run it into one of your Abbey Road fuzzes, if I run one of my harmonic percolators into your Abbey Road fuzz, or your Abbey Road fuzz into my harmonic percolator, it starts like sounding like a Foxtone machine combined with a green ringer. It's weird, like the stuff that it'll do. And I think it has to do with that weird PNP, NPN,
interaction.
Interaction that has going on.
Yes.
I always wondered about what they were thinking about when they designed that. I was
everybody.
I was thinking, what were they trying to achieve?
everybody that talked about that guy said he was just a mad genius, and like no two pedals that he ever built were exactly the same, and he gooped every one of them. And then when you took the goop off, they found out it wasn't the same as the one they took the goop off of the other one, and he was just like putting something together and then just like throwing his goop on there, so you couldn't figure out what he did on that one. But yeah, they called him the madman. Like he really was like this mad electronics genius that just had these ideas. And you know,
I can't abide by the goop. I just can't.
I know, man. It's so much of a pain in the ass. I've had to deal with it, and you know, especially it showed up in the 80s a lot, at the late 70s and the early 80s, back when everybody thought that they, you know, had come up with this eureka idea, even though it was something that you could go back to the 1950s instruction manuals and figure out. And so they just threw a bunch of goop on it and said, I own the idea. It's my intellectual property.
Dave Barry says black hot glue is the new goop. I don't know if anyone's seen that. Is that what people are using these days?
It might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've seen it on the
only acceptable
light maybe. The light speed, green light speed.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure.
The circuit's already out there. Why? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I mean, in some cases, like I've seen it used not necessarily to cover up what your work is, but just to keep components from vibrating apart.
Yeah.
Like as more of a, you know, keep things in place type.
Funny you mentioned that. There you go. Joel Duffield says, yeah, he feels guilty using hot glue to hold an LED in place. I use epoxy for that as well, to be fair.
And really hot glue, I mean, hot glue is way more reversible than you know, some of the stuff they use, like, you know, back in the day when they were trying. Well, they wanted to make sure that you destroyed the component when you tried to figure out what the component was, so that you couldn't find out what it was.
Here's an interesting one. Byron Blue says, back in about 1982, I'm just going to put it out there, mate. That was 3 years before I was born. Back in 1982, I cloned a Rockman X100 and learned a lot about how to create an overdrive. I would love to build one of them things. Yeah, I can't find a reliable layout rather than a schematic. I'm not creating a layout for something like that. No way. That chorus I just finished building, whoever made that layout was so big.
That was a labor of love for sure, mate.
I did that felt treble booster, like I transposed it from Vero board or strip board to tag board, and even that took me half an hour. Imagine doing that chorus. Jesus. It's just not happening. So yeah, that's interesting. Dave Lewis says he's got 2 tubes of the black goop that come with his not clones. Mate, that is the only time I'll accept goop, is when you're taking the piss out of the clone being gooped. I've also got a tube of that stuff, and maybe I'll save it for something special. Like do you know what I might do? I might build something that's like really cheap.
Oh yeah,
and goop
and something I wanted to say too is, like, since our last podcast, you know, Josh has had some health issues, so I wanted to like say, get well soon, Josh Scott. Hope you're doing okay, and that, you know, everything's going to be back on track real soon. I didn't know.
Well said. Did you have some sort of motorbike accident? Was it all?
Yeah, I think it was a motorcycle accident. But I think he's on the road to recovery, so I don't think it's too serious. But you know, it's one of those things where I know plenty of people that have been through that same thing, and I mean, you might think you're okay in the first week, and then like 6 months down the road, you're still dealing with stuff. So
yeah, I hope he gets well soon. His content's amazing, but it is kind of nice that our podcast hasn't got his one over the top of it, because he's definitely the Death Star of podcasts, isn't he? It's massive. Legend. I got to say, his video's hilarious. It's just they're making videos to have fun rather than sell you stuff.
Yeah,
so much. It's a good thing, you know. Dave Lewis says it was cycling. Not even motorcycling, I think there. Oh, that's interesting. Dave Barry says he was in a wheelchair after a motorbike accident for the year. Jesus. That would keep me off a motorbike, I tell you that. I haven't actually been on a motorbike since I was like 16. I just can't.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. Yeah.
I got arrested for taking a crosser, the old sports, whatever they are, the jump bikes or whatever. Yeah, not a good bike to try and get away on.
Unless you're Jackie Chan.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if you're part of the Jackie Chan stunt team, then you can get away on one of those easy.
You're good.
You can jump onto that moving train.
Well, on that note, I want to bring it back around to pedals. I'm really interested to know about this design software you're using, mate.
Yeah.
So we've got like a little a split screen to show people how you're doing it. Let's see if I can. So this is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
This is the schematic.
We can dissect it if you want.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Like I say, this.
Maybe I could put that. Let's put it full screen. There you go.
There you go.
Better, isn't it? So two transistor.
Yeah. Q1 is the PMP Germanium. It's the MPN. Yeah, it's just a basic, like harmonic percolator. Nothing really fancy. Like this part is from the Karma Suture pedal. Nothing really interesting yet. Like these little capacitors, just to tame the high end a bit.
So
is that a 47 PF? Is it? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that was it.
It's an interesting.
Now something that I did on my design, like where you have R5 at 91K.
Yes.
I have been using, I think it's a 47K. And I got that from the Land Devices Harmonic Percolator. And that was, it's a 47K. I have it labeled on my schematic as R3, but you've got it as R5, but it's where your VCC comes in.
Yes.
And I found that gave me a lot more headroom on the entire circuit by changing that value, having it more or less. Have you experimented with that any at all? Or and also it might have something to do with other things. Like, I don't know if I had to change that because of other things that I did. I'd have to look at my schematic compared to yours, but it looks very similar, like as to what I was using.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yes, I was just increasing it, like for 100K, 120, and it sounded bad. So I just came back to the original 91K.
Well, I went down to 47K.
Absolutely. I'm taking notes right now.
Yeah. So
did it change the bias on your transistors then when you
were? No, not really. Because you have that other bias transistor in the circuit. Like that's just controlling the amount of juice that you're giving it. Like I think it just gives it more voltage by having it to work with. So. And so, it was from the Land Devices Harmonic Percolator circuit that, that was like the magic thing that after I'd done all these other things, like when I changed that, suddenly my circuit like worked the way that I envisioned it to work. And I didn't know if it, was something that just had to do with what I had done up until that point or.
So Craze Fandango says, will that software help him fault find?
Have a
specifically that
function?
layout. Well,
like what kind of
the problem is if that's the question. If it's a fault the way that you've wired your pedal up, probably not. But if if you've designed it circuit that you think's going to work and then isn't going to work in real life, will it help you there? I think that might be the way he's looking at it.
It's maybe for
it's
the
just gonna
DRC, the for the layout. If you are doing something that's out of the capabilities of the manufacturer, then you can get some errors. But if you draw the schematics like this, it will not say that you know that value is bullshit. You can do that.
Yeah.
So this is the circuit.
Also, Sonar Poop says that he changed the, let's get it up. He changed the 820 resistor down to a 750.
This one.
Oh, his was a 750 to a 1 meg. Is that? Yeah.
This is a very interesting
value
resistor. With I have another version, like a silicon version. It's like 470 on that one, but it's it's an NPN silicon transistor on that one, and like a different kind with higher HFE.
Yeah,
but
that was.
I've been trying with 1 meg. It was a little bit too compressed, and with 750K, it was a bit more open, a bit more like too much highs, like it's sizzling. This one is the go-to for me on this one. Or we needed to just change these capacitors. But it's a good value.
What HFE do you look for in the two stages?
Like this one, this is the MP60. It's a very low HFE, low leakage, typical Soviet transistor, like 60 to 80, something like this. It's a low HFE. And on the other one, it's like 200 to 300. It's not really important on that one.
Okay,
that's my experience.
Cool. And for the germanium one, what sort of leakage are you aiming at?
Like below 100, like milliamps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So same as sort of like what the standard way of doing a fuzz face is.
Yes, exactly. Just a little bit more low HFE, like 60 to 80. That sounds best for me.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, we have a bit of power filtering. It's like the basics, and this part is for the pots, the LED on the pots.
Oh
yeah. Can we check the?
So
PCB?
how does all this transpose to? That's what I was just about to say. How does this transpose to being a PCB?
Yeah. So when you have the schematics ready, like you see, you can like name a part to insert. That's an important thing to show, like a TL072, just because. You have these like this one. This is from Texas Instruments. Like this is the CD version. This is the basic part. You just place it here, and you have the right like footprint and all that stuff. And then you just go to this other tab. This is the PCB. Like on its row is just a two-dimensional drawing of the PCB. And if I just import the changes from the schematic, like we are adding another component, and it's here. So that's how you transpose. You just put it on the schematic, the part, and it will just pull in from the schematic and the database of the software, and then you can use it. You can like do anything with this.
It's wild.
But yeah,
is this how you design yours, John?
Mine's a little bit different because I'm basically going off of my layout that I've done based off of my schematic, and I'm laying out my components, and I'm drawing my traces based off the layout of the components. But I've got different, I guess what you would call jelly bean components that you can just pick from and put in there. You can take it as advanced as specific components, and it will work in like different parameters to where it'll actually like run through tests and tell you if you're using a component that'll like serve the function, that kind of thing. But I never have to go that deep. I'm just using it to design. For the most part, I was using it to design things that I could like turn into like transfers, and then use those transfers to burn my own circuit boards off of those. So yeah, I mean, I never got so deep as to where I was having them manufacture anything for me. So I'm sure it can, but it looks very similar as far as like the grid layout and stuff.
Yeah. I think it's just a similar like concept. And for the connections, as you see here, if I delete this, you have this very thin line, like a blue line. You see?
Yep.
It tells you how you need to connect it. It's highlighted. You need to connect here. Like, you can just go with a 90-degree arc. Just
okay.
done. So it shows you where you need to connect your traces. And as I said, short traces for the input, like the first components here. Very compact, like it's a grid type of layout for my SMD parts. Very short traces like this and this.
Oh yeah.
So each of these dual solder pads, as we're looking at it, is that a component then? That's like a resistor or a capacitor?
This one is a capacitor, this one is a resistor, but I can show you like this. So you can see the 3D version just inside the software.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
that's cool.
Even just looking at that there, that would be a rather large circuit if it was full size component. Do you know what I mean? If each one of them was a cap or
Oh yeah.
So when I open up something like the MXR Dookie drive, that is full. Like it's a full circuit board the size of the pedal, and it is full of this. And you think, what on earth are they actually trying to achieve with all that? But it sounds great, so.
Yeah, I've worked on some Boss pedals where I opened them up and it was circuit board layered on circuit board full of SMD components. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm glad all I needed to do was just change out a potentiometer.
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is very simple. I have some new layouts where this is the standard size for my builds for a 1590B size enclosure. Yeah. So this is.
Sorry, mate. Do you want to show that size up again? Yep. Cool.
Like this. It's
sweet.
For the whole enclosure. Like I have all the place I need. Maybe the circuit itself is small, but I just put more text on it. But I need to, fill the enclosure. But I have some new layouts where the whole PCB is like crowded. I will show you later. It's
and as you say, you're getting less noise because the way I think of it is parasitic inductance for noise is a thing. That's why a breadboard's usually loud because there's all these antennas floating around or whatever. But because the components are small, you're getting a bigger space between them because, well, they're small and the traces are shorter than what they would be on a full size pedal.
We're getting
interesting.
A couple of questions too. Says, how do you prep a file for SMD? Is it the same as without, but with an added assembly file in the export?
Yeah, you need to make a pick and place file, like it's some coordinates for the machine to know where to pack your parts, and you need a BOM, like a bill of materials.
Okay.
This is the two different files other than the Gerber that's needed for production like this. The most important is the pick
That's
and place. So it will put it in the good position, so the right position.
What Byron Blue says that he uses OrCAD, and he wants to know what that software you're using on there is called.
Like Easy EDA.
Yeah, I'll put it up on the screen again.
Yeah, it's
Easy
in the
EDA.
leftmost corner. It's a bit small. I'm sorry. Here, you see.
I need to write that down. I'll forget it.
I mean, I love the way that you can put your artwork on the PCB itself while you're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can essentially see exactly what you're ordering.
Yes.
That's
Such a good little
handy
piece of software. Yeah. So this is the top board. As you can see, we have a Dogger board like down there. It's for the jacks, the power connection, and the foot switch.
Yep.
This is the old one.
Is that standard for all your pedals then?
Yes.
Okay.
The size is standard, but the artwork is different. This is the one for the V2 of the Cosmonaut.
Oh, cool.
Like, because,
nice.
as a space nerd, one of my biggest, greatest guy ever on Earth is Alexei Leonov, the first guy who did a
first spacewalk
in 65. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Such a great guy and such an amazing person. And we will get back to him on another project, like a different project I have. So yeah, it's for the foot switch. It has SMD protection diodes, like SMD resistor for the LED, 2.2K LED. Cool. The size is and the outline is just similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I bet you that makes building them an absolute pleasure, just to put it on, solder away. You could lose yourself doing that.
Yes. You need a good design for it, because I've had some troubles with one of the holes, like drill placements for my power jack.
Yeah.
If I don't do the drilling right, which is another software, another whole ordeal. But yeah, if everything comes together and it's designed well, then it's a breeze. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So a few more things come in. So Joe Duffield says, "Thank you. I've only done blank board layouts and put through all parts in himself, and he's looking forward to learning about SMD." Uncle Dan's Vintage Vinyl says that this reminds me of the Spaceman Effects, who are out of Portland, Oregon. Yeah, I tell you what, their pedals are expensive, but there's a reason why they're expensive. They're bloody good. I really want their proper spring reverb pedal. So good.
Yes.
Chris Van, I must have missed something earlier on that he's replying to there. He said, Dave Lewis says, what do you sell your pedals for in Hungary?
Well, right now it's under 100 euros. It's like 90 euros. It's based on the build.
Such a good price.
Yes, if I have a basic booster, then it's like 80 euros. If I have something like the Cosmonaut, which contains some really rare parts, then I might get 150 for it. But it's all down to the individual that I'm working with.
And that is such a good price. To put it in perspective, like literally my cheapest pedal is £200. Very rarely can I build one that the parts cost less than £140, or the parts, everything that goes into it, because I pay my own enclosures and stuff like that. And for you to be able to get the prices down to that is just insane. And then another insane thing is for you not to charge the really large prices and just make loads of profit. So kudos to you. That's spot on.
I don't care about that. Yeah, it's not about the money.
There you go. Exactly. It's a label of love, isn't it? I always say that. You're selling pedals to build more pedals. Daniel Lanes, I'm going to butcher your name, mate. I'm really sorry. He says, are you using pick and place machine for the SMD components? And great content, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Yeah, not, these are made overseas. So these are made in China. Chinese guys make my PCB, put my components in, and I get it like this. Like, maybe you can see it. The passives are in.
Make it full screen, yeah.
So this is how I get it in the box, out of the box.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
And then obviously you put your vintage Soviet parts in yourself and then build it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, spot on, mate. The only person that I know that uses a pick and place machine themselves here in the UK, that isn't a big company, is Audio Storm. If anyone's ever heard of them, they do like load boxes for amps, with the large resistors in and stuff to take the heat. They do them, but they also do like loads of tube screamers and other pedals. And he's built his own pick and place machine, which is insane. In guitar shows, he always seems to be like the table behind me in guitar shows. But what an absolute genius! Like, who builds their own pick and place machine? I can barely even get the live stream going. Yeah, fair play. Dave Barry says that Amazon components cost a small fortune these days. Yeah, actually, this is an interesting thought. I've been thinking about this. Let me float it out to you guys. I was thinking about doing a YouTube video on, can I build a pedal from Amazon and just like take some sort of say, okay, buy all the bits from Amazon for as cheap as I can and then build it to see if I can in the cost. But I don't know if you can get things like, I don't know, the LM308 or whatever on Amazon. That'd be interesting.
Well, I mean, you can, I'm sure, but they're probably suspect. That's
what I mean.
Yeah.
Will I get one that works?
You can't get a real one. You're going to get like, a op amp with the same pin out, but just rebranded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Dave Lewis said that his daughter's friend, my uncle's friend's cat's brother's sister. No, my daughter's friend is married to a Hungarian. I might ask if he can bring me a couple back next time he visits.
There you go.
Spot on. And what a great idea to get round all of the customs and stuff. That's spot on. I wish some Americans would come over here on holiday and buy pedals.
They won't let me over in your country these days, mate. I'm a threat to you, apparently. I'm on a watch list or two.
Well, you don't want to come to Hungary.
I hope I'm not on a watch list. I'm telling you, I really want to move to the States. My wife's just not.
I know.
Not keen. If we were going to go, she'd pick Australia, but I know.
They got too many poisonous animals. They got way too many poisonous animals in Australia for my liking. I mean, we still have quite a few poisonous animals here, but they're not nearly as prolific as they are in Australia.
Well, my auntie lives just outside Sydney in by the Blue Mountains, that sort of area. So we'd have a base to go to type thing if
there
you're going to. But I don't know. I can't see us leaving. But I just love I love it in America. Everything's big. The curbs are big. The food's big. Everything's massive. It's ridiculous. I've got a lot of time for that.
You can find some wide open spaces
not the
in a very short amount of time.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you don't get much of that here. The transistors aren't very big though. I've got some Soviet ones there that are like the size of a 9mm round. They're ridiculous. Actually, I meant to test them. A guy sent me them a while ago, and it's just been sat on the shelf. Uncle Dan's vintage vinyls on his way out. See you later, mate. Yeah, it's interesting. I always wonder about using the SMD on a design like this and then mixing it with like the quote unquote important bits like the transistor and stuff. Wonder why more people don't do that. Because as far as I know, no one really does that.
Brian.
I mean,
Brian
some
Wampler.
of the
Brian does.
Brian Wampler does it.
Yeah.
Do
you know what? I never thought about it.
Yeah, he's using film capacitors too on the signal chain.
Yeah.
And especially on like some of his like signature effects line, like he'll do not all SMD, but all through component. Like he'll not use any SMD.
I don't mean
I've worked on.
I don't mean through all. I mean vintage.
Yeah.
So like old components.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess
do you know
you can only do that in limited runs. There's a few people that do that. Like they'll make 700 pedals because they could only get 700 of this transistor and these specs or that kind of thing. So they do it, but man, it's becoming harder to do for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you can just redesign your PCB on something like this, you could on the fly, you could go, well, I've got this new transistor. Here's the specs. I'll order 700 or it's handy.
So
I don't even think I build enough pedals. Sorry, go on.
This is the other one.
Astronaut.
It's called the Astronaut.
The Astronaut.
Like, I don't know if you know the naming scheme of this, but if you are like from the USA or from Europe and you go to space, then you become an astronaut. If you are Soviet or Russian, then you are a
cosmonaut.
Yes. And
okay. I didn't know.
If you are Chinese, you become a taikonaut. Yeah. This is a Chinese transistor.
I like this theme, man. I like it.
So good, right?
Wow. Oh, mate.
So subtle and
that's
so
amazing.
Cool, man. That's like uber nerd stuff right there. Yeah.
So these are all the same design, just with a different main transistor.
All based on the percolator, yes. But this one is all silicon.
That's kind of like after like my tuber series that I was doing, where everything was going to be like potato based, because it was a tube sound fuzz circuit that I was modifying, so it all had like a potato thing.
So good,
yeah.
We need one with a switch to go between the three transistors called the International Space Station. It's got
the ISS.
It's gotta be done.
I might do.
Or three of them in one box, like a triple pedal.
It's a one-off. It's gonna be like it's gonna be like the Cockney Monster.
What a good idea.
If you like this one,
my question is, which out of the three, which one do you prefer and why?
Well, it's the Cosmonaut, of course, because of these transistors. It's so rare, so amazing. I've been working with so much with this. That's my favorite. And out of all the guys, like Ed White is a legend, like Germany.
Yeah, let me put this up full.
Because you just need a little story here. And also about this Chinese guy, I can't pronounce his name.
I didn't know China had got anyone in space.
Is he a guy?
It was in like 2003. Yeah.
Yeah, they were quite a bit behind for sure. But I remember when they launched that.
Yeah.
I think the whole theme behind this is just brilliant.
Right?
Man.
Can I show you guys the other one?
Yes.
The project that I'm working on.
Oh, please do.
I need to.
Have you had many people buy the set?
No,
like of all three.
No,
that would be my initial
I was gonna
thought.
say, I'd have to have one of each.
Sounds so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. I'm setting it up.
No worries. Yeah. Let's see. Look at that. I tell you what, my transfers are being seamless today.
So this is just a basic Electra distortion, like I said.
Oh yeah.
It's based around this one, the 5088. Might not use this.
I love a 5088.
It sounds so good for these high gain circuits, right?
It does, yeah. I like using it in the super tone bender circuit too. A 5088 and a super tone bender sounds really good.
I'm pretty sure I just put one in a phase 90. Believe it or not, there's like 4 JFETs and 1 transistor.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a PMP silicon
I'm pretty
transistor,
sure.
no?
Is oh no, I
It's
might be
NPN.
thinking of the 87. And
No,
Yeah,
the 58,
the
the
5088.
5088 is NPN. So is the 5089. They're really high gain.
Mm-hmm.
I use them also in my boot face, my fuzz face, where I turn one of the transistors around to face the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so it is NPN. I'm sure it was a 5088 that I put in the. I built like a phase 90 from a cheap kit. Thought why not? I don't own one, so
I don't like the phase 90, to be honest. I just don't have. Like,
I'm much more. I'm a flanger. I'm a flanger guy. If I have to go to modulation, definitely. But it's an interesting circuit. It's far too much stuff in one circuit for me. After doing that course,
I'm happy that I was able to build a phaser, not like a flanger. Yeah. So this one is just a simple Electra.
Yeah,
I like it. It sounds good, but I wanted to make a new PCB, like the Apollo.
Oh, nice. There you go.
It looks like this. It's simple, nothing really serious. The same footprint with a little bit of Easter eggs.
Oh, I love the Federation font, by the way.
Yeah. And just the guys who are sadly passed away on the first test of Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, this is the silicon range master with this KT613 transistor. It's about the Soyuz, so it's a different kind of little thing, And there was an event about the Soyuz and the Apollo in 1975.
Similar.
And it's this
similar
one.
Tragedies, yeah.
On the other one, like I have this Komarov guy, like he was the first one who died not really in space. He died on arriving because of the high speed.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of documentaries about his tragedy, and also the first cosmonaut to perform a spacewalk too. The first person to ever do a spacewalk. Like, there have been some really cool documentary films made about these achievements, but they're so hard to find now. It's like a lot of that stuff nobody even thinks about. It's like, man,
most of it is in Russian, like, obviously. But so I have the Apollo, I have the Soyuz, and I have it in a big box, like a 5090 BB, where you have both of them, because it sounds so good stacked. Like into the Electra.
I love that idea. Yeah.
And like, it's about the docking.
When you have two good effects that sound good together, why not put them in the same box?
Right. And it's such a cool
I'm doing that very thing. It's so good to have like the option of having 2 in 1, and it's also better value for money for the person buying a pedal. This is like you're getting 2 pedals for cheaper.
And especially if they're going to be naturally stacked in the signal chain that way anyway. Like, it just makes sense for them to be, in that order.
Yeah. And I've made it with a stand-in return, like you see, 4 jacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to ask about that,
Yeah, it's 2, like, independent circuits. I might need to just work about the power, like, distribution here.
That's usually the problem with doing an effect like that, is the power distribution. That was the biggest problem I had when I started working on more complicated circuits. I was trying to integrate like that. Is in some cases, like, I had to do a whole separate circuit board just to like get the power sent in the right voltages to the different areas without getting any kind of lag.
So what's the issues with power that you find when you're designing a circuit? I know you said that you can get lag, but what sort of pitfalls are you trying to avoid? Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, if I'm doing a vintage valve amplifier, I'm not running my signal lines close to the lives. I'm going diagonally across them if I can help it.
The same here. Same here.
I guess you
like
want
you
to
don't
make
want
sure.
parallel traces. Like on this one, you see this is the input of the range master, and on the other side I have this one. This is the input from the jack.
Yeah.
And it's not like this, but it's the same. It's just a bit like pulled apart for these copper pores to go through, and in between them. So it's a good thing for like reducing noise. Something like this. These are and long traces are inevitable in this situation, like because you have like a jack up on top and the foot switch down below. You need to like it even says it's 96 millimeters. This trace, like up here. It's a long one, but I cannot do anything to avoid it.
So what's your limit on trace length? What are you trying to avoid? Or do you just try and get it as short as you can?
As short as possible. That's all I do. And the placement, like you don't want to run parallel on the same layer, and you don't want to run it like on the opposite layer, but at the same place.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. It's maybe not correct, but that's what I've been experimenting with, and it shows some good results.
Yeah. Well, we had Dominion Electric Aaron come on, and he was talking about a vintage fuzz face that he worked on. It sounded amazing, but when he opened the back of it, the wires were just shoved in there any old way. It was a mess. So he said that he tidied it up and run it round the normal way with a few cable ties on or ties on it, and it sounded worse. He said, so he put it back to being a train wreck, and it sounded back what was good about it. So I don't know how important it is in most pedals, but in something like a fuzz, because there's that much gain. I think it does matter. Definitely. And some of the 16-pin drive pedals that you do, John, the placement really matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Or even just, things with like specific op amps. Like I'm trying to like use like, things that are more designed to be audio amps rather than pedal amplifier circuits, and trying to get them dialed in exactly right. That can be a little bit tricky. That was something that really tested my design skills, was figuring out how to get a LM386 to function in a guitar pedal.
Yeah, it's such a good chip. I love it.
That came from my fascination with the stuff that Beavis did.
Yeah.
And then that led to the runoff groove stuff, where I've discovered like the Big Daddy and the Grace Overdrive. And then because I'm
laughing because they're so hard to build. When I started out, I built every one of them, and not one single thing worked.
Yeah. I mean, it was my trial by fire. Like I might as well have just decided to like learn quantum physics before I learned proper maths, by jumping into those circuits. I mean, and
I messed them all up.
Yeah,
every one of them. I think one was called like the Thor. Was that the Marshall one? I must have.
I remember seeing one.
Not
called
one
that.
of them were.
I really want to build the Tufnell overdrive. It's 2 3/86s. It's so loud it should be illegal. Was what Dano Beavis advertised it as.
So we've got some comments coming in that I'm terrible at keeping on top of. John's normally better at it than me. All components will cause an electromagnetic effect on each other. Yeah, that's parasitic inductance, isn't it? Is that what it's called? Or is this something separate? Or are you talking about kind of like how an electric motor works? It'll put out a magnetic field and then get intersected by another component. Thanks, Dave. And Byron Blue says, don't parallel hostile traces with sensitive traces. Yeah, exactly. Same as I was talking about with the tube amp. You know, your power lines, or especially the heater wires, are going to be miles away from everything else, and preferably at right angles to everything if you can. And there you go. He goes on to say right angles. Yeah, it's interesting because in my pedals, I'm really not taking that much care. I do like one wiring loom and just put everything in it, and I run things real long ways round and stuff like that. And there is a difference, but I'm not sure to dislike the difference. And that's different from putting a transistor next to, you know, the power or whatever. It's not the actual components, it's just wire. But that's why I was interested in your trace length, because I sometimes the lengths of wire I'm using are like that long to connect things.
Yeah. And it works.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting.
I may be a
build
little
like
bit
the same
obsessive about these things.
Yeah, I think it all matters. And do you know when it matters is when you get it up to volume. I think a lot of people say, "Oh, this sounds the same as this," or "This expensive whatever it is sounds the same as this cheap clone." Maybe in your setup, but if you turn up 200-watt amplifiers with two 412s with high power speakers like EVs or something like that, and then play in that scenario, every little nuance will make a big difference. I say this all the time, but I sent a tube screamer to Mick from that pedal show, and he was like, "It's broke." I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, this is weird noise," or he couldn't use it. He was like, "It's shit." Fine, but I'd sent like 10 of them out, and not one person had mentioned this noise or whatever. But then I started turning it up with I had like a Black Flag Marshall. I turned it up full, plugged this pedal into it, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a noise that I just didn't hear it in any other situation. So, or sometimes pedals do things when you get up to that volume.
Man, what you're playing through, like I just finished up that 63 Strat that I sent you the pictures of, and the neck pickup ended up being the only pickup that, you know, worked in it. The other two, the middle and the bridge, had open coils. You know, I was loath to like desolder the original earth wires off the volume pot, but that's the only way you can test to see if you have continuity, you know, from one end to the other. Yeah. And so, but man, you know, that neck pickup, it sounded great with certain things, but like there's other things that I was like, man, I've got to like completely readjust because it was such an underwound pickup. And it's probably what Alnico 2 they were using in 63.
Well, God knows what it is now.
yeah. I mean, but you know, like compared to like some of the other pickups that I've played, you know, through my setup and through my pedals, I'm like, whoa, you know, this is totally different. Like, you know, and all it is just a different pickup.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Bandit Cuba is on. Hello, mate. I didn't know you were in the stream. It says, not sure what volume level I'm playing at, but I know it's more than 90 dB. That's quite a lot. Because that's what my phone
maxes out at. Yes.
That's a class way of testing it. Well, if you look at that pedal show, they're sometimes getting up to like, well over 100, 106, something like that. When I was in the room,
I think they're just flexing on you. Then I think they have that. I think they have that big red display just to flex every now and then. Hey, we can get loud.
Well, mate, when I was there, they plugged in the Joey 2 Rock, the Joey, you know, it's got like 16 tubes in it or whatever. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Tube driven harmonic tremolo.
It looks like Robbie the Robot's brain.
With his, yeah, it's just two massive amps, and he's got high powered speakers like the EVs or whatever, and you could feel your teeth rattling, you know. And so I think when you're saying about, you know, the trace length and positioning, I would feel that you would hear a big difference in that scenario between, you know, you're not taking this care and just shoving it in anyway.
Yes.
It's interesting. I don't think I'll ever design.
Maybe it doesn't have any impact on the sound of the circuit, but I'm just, you know, I'm chill when I do it.
Yeah.
Like I said,
so do you use different? Yeah. So, do Do you use different thickness traces for different, like for signal wire and for the signals on the board, compared to like the power traces, or are they all the same?
Sometimes when I made a Q preamp, obviously with like 24 volts, I might use a bigger trace, like a thicker trace.
Mhm.
But for just basic, transistor circuits, I don't think that it's needed. So I use 0.254 millimeters thickness. Like it's some kind of imperial unit, probably.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
that's the
it's
standard. That's
like
the default.
when we're dealing with the modern circuit board materials, the way that they're able to like protect the traces, like the circuit boards that I burned myself, I would put big traces there just because I wanted a lot of copper, just to make sure that if anything like scraped across it or anything. But you've got so many layers of protection of whatever epoxies, whatever kind of coatings that they have that keep the traces, so you can get something so thin.
Yes.
Like trying to do something that thin on a homemade burnt circuit board, that's a non-starter.
Like
I mean,
they're
they're
using this grid.
they're even patterning the copper grid in there like that just for the shielding effect.
Like it's 0.2 millimeters thick, like the grid, like the pattern.
Yeah.
And what's the theory behind the grid?
It's from the RF circuits. Like you don't have a solid ground plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not important, like in these audio applications, but it looks so cool. Just the top side.
And that's a good enough reason for me.
Right?
I'll take it.
I have a solid plane on the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I know that whole thing from like the radio stuff, like in radio circuits, like having like having a giant solid ground plane. I've got circuits over here in the workshop that the circuit board is like this big, and there's probably only that much circuitry on it, and the rest of it's a giant ground field. And it's just like one part of a ham radio unit or a receiver or something like that, or a military unit. Like I've got some old military comms that actually have top secret, do not, like from World War II stuff. Like back when, what they were doing was top secret. It's not top secret anymore, but
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So the grid pattern is just for looks. It's so cool.
But hey, is it just for looks? Because if it looks good and you feel good about how it looks, it's going to sound good. Because if you look good, you're going to feel good, and it's better to look good than to feel good. And darling, you look marvelous.
Yeah, well, feels a lot to do with it in my mind. These components just look so small. I don't know if
anybody in our chat's old enough to remember Billy Crystal. Hey, you remember Billy Crystal?
Billy who?
And you're Hungarian.
What? I just adjusting my headphones.
Did you say Billy Crystal?
No.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't know if anybody is old enough in our chat to remember Billy Crystal. Fernando's Hideaway. Though you look marvelous. You look marvelous, because it is better to look good than to feel good.
Billy Crystal, right?
Oops.
Yeah. It was a whole Saturday Night Live routine called Fernando's Hideaway. And
we missed a question here from Dan Mincher. He says, hello, Stereo Effects official. Do you do a pedal that replicated the color sound power boost? No, it's not a particularly big circuit, but it's doable. But I haven't suspect the Range Master would do a similar job. No, it's in fact Mr. Craze Fandango being the temporary moderator that he is, as much as he doesn't want to be. It says the Range Master is different to the power booster. Yeah, it's completely different. The power booster is so freaking loud, like it's ridiculous. I had one from what's the company in America that does their own enclosure and does a power booster? Can't find it. Anyway, it's like got a master volume on it because it's so loud.
Like we're talking vintage or we're talking modern?
Oh no, it's a modern version of the vintage.
Okay.
Because I mean, I would love to
DOD,
own the original.
MXR.
I love the master. No, it's a smaller company than that. It is. They do the two-face fuzz. So I wonder if I can find.
EH is what somebody was saying.
Let's see. No,
it wasn't EH.
True-Fi.
True-Fi,
yeah.
TWOFI.
Yeah. They do a color driver pedal. I owned one in candy apple red, but that's it. It's not gonna thingy, but they do their own enclosures. It looks like a squashed Mark II tone bender enclosure.
Oh yeah.
It's not that big.
Okay,
they're fantastic.
Talking about, yep.
And the power booster, even on like its minimum setting, if you have the master volume, wouldn't be on the original, right? So if you turn it all the way up, even on its lowest gain and volume, it's still too loud to use. It's ridiculous.
But I think that's got to do with modern transistors. Like, yeah, it's our modern transistors. Like, you think about like some of the transistors we have to work with now. Like, we can create circuits that are way louder than anything they were making in the 60s. Right. I mean, the HFE
even the original
power
booster was ridiculous.
Oh, I know, yeah. But just imagine if you'd put that on steroids, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's like you took
Albert Spandello, Aaron. He
said
his True-Fi rules. They absolutely does. Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah, good to see you again.
They're so good. I think I really like their enclosures as well. So they design their enclosures and all their pedals use them. But I do like a home designed enclosure. But I can't come up with anything original. Not like, like Thorpe has come up with such a good enclosure. You can tell one of his, And I tell you what, I would love to get some printed one day, but I don't know how that would fit in with my sort of my brand. Probably not. Dan Mincher says there's one True-Fi one on eBay. There you go. And Craze Fandango says don't use a power booster into a high watt. Yeah, definitely. Mr. Gilmore had the space to fill in them big stadiums to be able to do that. Yeah, that's a big old sound. Anyway, back to the PCB. I think we went off on a tangent there.
Oh, we started talking about that beautiful like exfil all around it,
and the traces, like these curved traces. It may be, if I do it differently, it may be shorter, but I don't care. It just looks so good. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to the aesthetic too. When I've done a lot of like analysis of different circuits that I've worked on, it seems like there's a geometry that keeps showing up. It's like you start seeing like certain things that just make sense, and whether you know it or not, it's because like things just have to be put into that shape. One of the things that I've done with radio frequency experiments is antenna shaping, making three-dimensional antennas that are digital, but only using pieces of copper put in certain geometric shapes. And, it shouldn't work, according to what most people would think, but I have this bleach bottle with a bunch of copper on it, and I can hold it up and I can get digital TV signals from anywhere I want. So, I think there is something to be said about the shape of what you're using. Like, I think the sacred geometry is there for a reason, and you probably should pay attention to it. And there's probably a reason why we're attracted to certain things that look a certain way, is because we know that they look cool because they work. That's just me, but I did grow a big pair of whiskers today, so
yeah. These designs are just so good. How long on average would it take you to knock up a say like the PCB itself when it comes to like add any artwork to it and stuff like that to design it? Are we
Like,
talking like
if
long,
I have the schematics ready.
like that? Yeah, if you have the schematic, you've designed the schematic and then
Because
to
the
actually,
longest
like,
part
put it
is
in
the
software.
breadboarding, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if I
Yeah.
have the schematics, then like one afternoon,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man,
3 or
that's so
4
good.
hours. Yeah.
Does this software give you like a thing where you can take your schematic and it'll drop it into a like blank layout that then you can modify for your final PCB? Because that was something that other softwares that I've used, like you can create a schematic and then you can just say, make me a PCB, and it'll give you an idea.
Auto routing, like
Yeah.
It can do it, but
Okay.
I don't use it.
I know, but I mean that might be something that some other people that would want to use it would know.
Yes,
Yeah, if it's capable
like
of doing that,
Mm.
because that can like save a
I
lot of
think
people some time.
Yeah,
Or people who don't know how to craft
it's
a circuit.
capable. Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like this software does pretty much everything.
It can do everything, but I don't like it when it does.
Well,
It's
technology
just
is
a tool
great.
for me.
Technology is great when it works.
Yeah, but I don't trust it.
Me either.
Like this is the way that I am doing it, like with every trace and angle and arc.
Mm-hmm.
Even the component placement, like if you didn't know what you were looking at now, that just looks like a picture. Do you know what I mean? It's like symmetrical, and
Yes,
it's not like just shoved on.
Sometimes I get in trouble because of this symmetry.
Well,
Like
archaeologists 2,000 years from now, when they unearth one of your pedals, from the rubble of our collapsed civilization, they're going to say, this was the height of, this. I mean, these are the kind of things that you see.
I love your optimism.
I mean, it's what is it? The collective consciousness, the whole, everything that goes around comes around has always been here before. I mean, it looks like a Mayan temple layout to me.
Really?
Like, really, like the image that I'm looking at on the screen is like, that looks like a Mayan temple from above when I'm in my UFO, flying over to assess the workmanship.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, back in that lifetime.
So yeah, this is this space theme ones. I just want to show you something else, like this one. It's called the Venera, like the first Venus probes from the Soviet Union.
Yes. Oh wow, man, the images those things sent back. Holy cow!
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a bad terrain and bad weather.
Yeah, the fact that it even survived as long as it did. Holy mackerel.
So on this one, I needed to just not do it like I usually do with the symmetry and all that stuff. But it was a very difficult circuit to pull.
That looks like a lot of components.
What is this one? Yeah, what is this one based off of?
Yeah, it's like this. It's a Univox Super Fuzz, like mostly with a selectable clipping diode.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Here, you see it. I'm using this.
I love adding selectable clipping diodes into circuits like that.
It's just such a simple mode, but
it is. But it makes such a huge difference too.
Yeah, it has a huge impact. Yeah. So yeah, it's germanium diodes on this side.
That's the only mod that we're doing on our first DIY pedal build kit. Is selectable diodes. So we've got germanium, silicon, and no diodes. No diodes is always my favorite position when I add these switches in. For things like the tubes. I know I shouldn't say that because I should want like the vintage, expensive, whatever. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
you're using full size diodes for that then?
Oh yeah. I mean, because they don't make those in small sizes.
Yeah.
They don't make germanium diodes and
No.
SMD.
It's this one. As you can see, it's a D9V.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
things are beautiful,
Like it's
man.
glass
Yes.
diodes.
I've got a
just
few of
painted
those.
black.
I think I've got 3 of those.
I used
and
them in my last videos. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure
Yeah.
out what I'm going to put them in.
But the super fun.
They're really
So-
good for the they're good for the Cornish G2. It's a bit of a Muff variant, isn't it? I think it's a green Russian, but with the Cornish buffer in it. But they're really good for that. Really good. And a clon, funnily enough.
Yeah.
There you go.
So this is one.
Let's see. Dave Barry just said my new beard contains the Fibonacci sequence. Like, okay. I thought that was the curly Q on the back of my head, but yeah.
Oh man, we've missed loads of
Loads
of things here.
We
Oh,
start
let's-
geeking out and this happens. Hey Joe, what's your
So
next
Dave
build?
Lewis, look, Dave Lewis says that Noel Gallagher's using a line of high watts. Yes, he is, and I'll see them in 2 weeks' time. Cannot wait. Have you seen the new guitar
I'm a
that he's
Blur
got out, by
fan.
the way, for this?
I'm just
Sure.
a Blur fan is all I'm going to say.
I would have preferred it if I'm not even going to say the word because it get us demonetized. If you said that you were a vintage German
Woohoo!
and a Blair fan. No, I like Blair as well.
And I'm an OG.
Uh,
I'm an original Gorillas, baby.
Dave Daniel Lang says if you could drop a schematic into, say, KiCad and test the signals with an oscilloscope and multimeter, that would be cool.
Oh,
of
yeah,
doing
doing RC
RC
maps.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, seems like a mental thing for me. I don't think I'd be doing that.
I'm having
I'm not clever enough.
on my other computer. I'm using a program like a software for testing this. It's called Life Spice. It simulates everything.
Ah, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, Brian
Not
Womber uses it in his,
just a
in
few
his
others,
videos.
but
too.
it's a good one.
Dave Lewis says, "What's your next build?" Well, I've just done an Eddie Van Halen phaser. That's going to be the next video. But then this, which is a real leather and paisley, it's going to be a free range pedal, so the Kossoff drive and a range master. I'm going to show everyone how to build it. It's pretty. I think I've pretty much shown in small bites how to build it, but it's going to be the whole thing, and then there's going to be 4 of them available. Who's next? Let's see.
EVH, woo!
Yeah.
Bandit Cuber.
Oh yeah, mate. I learned so much about his tone when I was spamming up to mod the Phase 90 to sound like Eddie type thing, because I thought, yes, I'll just mod it to sound like Eddie Van Halen, and I thought to myself, I have no clue how Eddie Van Halen signal chain goes or on anything, so I have to spam up. Interesting.
You got to completely deconstruct a guitar and put one pickup in it. And
Yeah, I didn't do that.
You pretty much had to put something together like what I was handing back to the customer with their 63 with one pickup that worked.
Yeah.
And, it had been played hard and put up wet by their grandfather and stuck in a basement for 30 years before they got it.
Still, though, I wouldn't complain. 2 pickup
no.
changes and you've got an awesome machine.
Man, you send the middle and the bridge to Lindy Fralin and have them rewound and sent back, and I mean, everything on that guitar is original for the most part. I mean, yeah, I've never seen that much originality on something that's been that heavily modified by the original owner too. When he took the can of blue spray paint to it and some of the other things that he did.
Yeah, but I don't think I agree with the blue spray paint thing.
I know. I tried to talk him out of keeping it on there. He's like, "Oh, I'm just going to leave it on there for now." I was like, "Okay." I want to see the tobacco burst under it. But that's just
well,
me.
to be fair, I think if a family member did that and you want to remember them, I might leave it on.
Yeah, and especially especially if he was known for playing that guitar on stage too. Like if everybody remembers that blue guitar with the weird black wire coming out from under the bridge and being screwed into the tremolo arm spot.
Oh man, Dave Lewis says that he's got Noel's Epiphone guitar and it sounds great. Check this out. So I really want one of the black Les Paul customs that he did, but I couldn't afford 20 grand or whatever they're going for on eBay. So I've got this 1974 Les Paul custom. I'm going to switch out the pickup rings and the pickups, which aren't original, and change the knobs and stuff like that, and the poker chip, and make myself a Noel Gallagher guitar. Do all the stuff that Gibson did on it. But this thing sounds great.
Are you looking?
It is unreal. And someone.
Sorry, are you looking to get Dirty Fingers?
I'm not going to drill.
No, the Dirty Fingers.
I thought about that, mate,
or...
and in the which is what he's known for using the super distortion as well, and
the SDs
all that.
And the Dirty Fingers.
No, I went with bare knuckle pickups because on their pickup designer you can get them aged for the start, which I like.
Oh,
but, you could choose to have the gold screws, so I went with some mules. Used ChatGPT to try and figure out what would sound like Oasis. Of course I did, but this guitar is only £8.5, bit less, £8.4, and it's a 74. It should be like 11, and that's because
sure
I
real?
think. Yeah, well, I think. Yeah, it's definitely real, mate. It's still got the original waffle back tuners on and everything. The line, you know where the pancake body is?
Yeah.
That line is very prominent. And I bought this off Jordan Guitars in the UK. It was his own guitar. And he thinks that someone split it open and hollowed it out. And when you're knocking on it,
they chambered it.
It changes. So someone chambered it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's an upgrade, actually. That's actually an upgrade, especially if it was done right. If they did it right,
you can barely tell.
Well, my friend James and my friend James and I were designing some chambered Les Paul bodies that we were putting, different acoustic chambers in, especially now because you've got CNC milling. We could do experiments with that, and then you put a maple cap on it. There are some iconic 1950s Les Pauls that people don't realize were modified like that, and you'll never get the same sound unless you have something. That's why my Greco, I had an 80s Greco, sounded so good because it was chambered.
They're great guitars. Yeah. Well, but basically I just love, the whole, if you watch the film Supersonic, you'll have seen Noel playing a black Les Paul custom with the cream pick guard and stuff on it. That he got from Johnny Marr, and it's on a few of Johnny Marr's records.
Oh yeah, yep.
And I love that guitar and that look. So I was like, I need one in my life. But the Gibson reissue doesn't come with the sticker on the pick guard. Now I'm going to geek out now. The sticker is a bit of a story behind it. It's the Oasis font from their logo, but the letters are closer together because a fan gave it to him while he was touring Japan, and a fan gave him the sticker and he stuck it on. But I found a website that explains everything about this guitar, and they had a small picture of that badge with the right spacing. So I managed to blow it up, dial it in, and get stickers made up. So
you managed to nick it proper.
I'm going to do an Oasis. Yeah, basically I went full scouts and stole it.
Nick it proper.
So I'm going to have the right sticker. But I tell you what a guitar! I don't care if it's been chambers. It's nice and light. And
oh man,
I
think that's an upgrade.
It's not a super thin neck.
I think that's an upgrade.
The neck's quite wide. Yeah. But
that's even better.
A blade or mate. Original frets and stuff. But things like the pickups and the bridgeable.
Okay, so
haven't changed. So that's free license to change anything I want.
That early 70s, fretless wonder type neck, man, those things are some of the most. The SGs and the Les Pauls and the 335s from that era that I've played on. They they have something about them, and there's a reason why they became legendary. They called them the fretless wonders.
Weren't they the last ones from the
Kalamazoo
Chicago plant? Where is it?
Kalamazoo, Michigan. I mean, they weren't the last
because they changed in 75.
Well, yeah,
was it 75 they went to?
They had Nashville in the early 70s because I worked on a 73 Nashville
that's
SG
what I mean.
that broke apart.
I think,
But I think when they finally closed
I mean, the actual
Kalamazoo
Les
down-
Pauls.
Oh, now the actual Les Pauls, that's a different story. You'd have to go and look
I
at
think
the
they
at the Heritage guitar company and look at their history.
Oh, mate,
Because Heritage took over
I've
when
owned
Gibson
several.
threw them under the bus, basically.
Yeah, mate, they're brilliant guitars. I've owned several. But what I mean is, I think the Les Paul production went from Kalamazoo to Nashville in '75. So the plant was still open making guitars, Paul.
Yeah.
That's sort of thing. So
yeah.
So this being a '74 will have been made in Kalamazoo.
Well,
and you know what? People say who cares, but to me it's important.
Well, it depends. You can find out by the serial number. Look up your serial number, and it'll tell you if it's Nashville or Kalamazoo.
Absolutely, mate. All in the video. Yeah, definitely. I just love I love the history behind it. But this is what I tried to use that Eddie Van Halen thing, and it definitely wasn't good for Eddie Van Halen.
You need single coil.
I thought he had a humbucker in a bridge.
It depends on which incarnation of 5150 you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like
well,
he was always modifying
that
things. I mean, then he designed like his own asymmetrical V-necks for the Wolfgang PV series, and like Eddie was always a tweaker as far as like figuring out what his instruments were going to do and like how he was going to get the sound out of it and play it. Like people were chasing his tone that he was already over like 10 years prior.
Is it? You can't chase his tone, his fingers.
Exactly.
Watching the live videos, I'm just like, what the? It makes you want to give up.
It comes from like being drilled in classical music technique is what it is. That's all violin vibrato and like, that's all classical technique.
Yeah. Dave Lewis again says that Johnny Marr gave Noel a lovely Les Paul Sunday shirts in its episode that actually got it got re-necked. So the neck is from an early 50s Les Paul, so a 52 to 54, because you can tell because the logo's lower down on the headstock. I actually prefer the logo lower down. So I want a 54 or a 53 gold top. But yeah, and it's a real thin neck, which I'm not a massive fan of. But yeah. Anyway, now that we've had a walkthrough history of how many guitars can Joe buy in a week?
It had to happen. It wouldn't be a Pedal Dive podcast if Joe didn't like geek out on what guitars he was into at this particular moment.
I changed targets so much. Still got the Strat if anyone wants it. No, it seems like that
still have
now is a buyer. Yeah, mate, no one wants a bloody Strat.
Well, especially not one from the 70s.
No, well, it's my favorite Strat. I prefer it. Not to be fair, I've not played many 60s Strats, so I can't comment. But compared to the modern ones,
yeah. Well, you haven't played a 95 made in Mexico with a 10 to 14 radius and Evo fretwire either.
I definitely haven't, mate. Ferry, do you have a set type of guitar that you'll test your pedals with, like that you know inside out, so you know how the pedals sounds, type thing?
Can I show you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do. I find that every builder has like a pedal, not a pedal, sorry, a lick and a guitar that they like to play to test the pedal, because you know how it's reacting.
The rig and everything, yeah. You got your bass line.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Like
put it on full screen, Joe.
Yeah. I'm sorry, mate. I was a bit adrift there, man.
There we go.
Like it's a 5150.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That one.
The
EVH.
You know, I'm a metalhead, so I play like really hard, really crushing metal music, like I don't know, Gojira or Slaughter to Prevail, yeah, this kind of stuff. And this is my main workhorse. Like if we are talking about Black Les Pauls, it's an Ibanez from 2008.
Yeah.
With the stock pickups,
mate,
right now,
killer.
It's an amazing guitar. With a kill switch.
Wait, is that got black binding?
Yes, it does. Black and white.
Black and white, like
mate, that's
pinstripe.
class.
That is That's a sick Ibanez,
Mate.
dude.
This is my baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why.
Block inlays as well.
Yes, of course.
It looks kind of like the Vigier, you know, is that how you say it? Vigier guitars.
VG.
It reminds me of that. I wonder if
I just
class.
really love the Ibanez take on like the shapes, like how they've refined all the different.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's a bit sharp, you know.
Well, I mean,
Modern metal.
There's a reason why Gibson sued the absolute what out of them, because they were making better Les Pauls than Gibson was.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's a modern one. It's from the 2000.
Well, I mean, but they still make great guitars.
Yeah,
like Ibanez.
Not like this, because I don't make Les Pauls anymore, which is sad. And I have one big regret. Like, I've sold the brother of this guy. It was just the same, but with 7 strings.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine as many 7 strings about.
Yeah.
I love the Ibanez double cut arch tops too that they did. Like, it was like a double cut arch top. It was basically the same guitar, but it had a cutaway on both sides, and they had the really nice engraved pickup covers. The artist model, that's what it was. The Ibanez artist from the 1970s.
It's from the same series.
Yeah, same series. Yeah, those guitars. And I've set a few of those up for lefties because it was a double cut. A left-handed player could, we just switch the nut and change the intonation and angle.
I want one of the Rev Stars. The gold top like crystal.
Yeah, those are pretty nice too.
They just look so cool.
Okay, so while we're here geeking out on guitars, we probably missed a whole bunch of things in the chat.
Yeah. So Bandit Cuba, his comments just gone off my screen, but he said 5150 for the win. Absolutely.
What are your favorite settings for your heavy tone is what he asked too, as a follow-up.
Yeah. It's an easy one, because you need to turn everything to 6, like 6, 6, 6. Because, yeah. Sounds the best.
Yes.
Yeah. Not the level, because
but these go to 11.
Yeah, 6 is enough.
Well,
it's such a beast.
Number 2 of that film.
It's an amazing film. So I love it.
Sweet.
Yeah,
it was really.
I've never played through one.
You're being tempted, Joe. Daniel says they've got a gold top in the shop. If you want to come by and try it, it's awesome.
What, a gold top?
Les Paul
Yamaha, the Rev Stars.
Oh, is it the Rev Star? Okay.
I don't know. I just mentioned the gold top Rev Star. I'd be interested to know what it is, because I've got my gold top. I don't need another Les Paul.
Yeah.
A gold top Rev Star. Okay. Well, actually, I'm coming down with a few pedals, so we need to set a date for that.
It sounds like you might need to see a doctor about that if you're coming down with a few pedals.
Yeah, fair one.
Yeah. I mean, I've had gearitis quite a while. I haven't found a cure yet. The only cure is to just like go all in and get more gear. So
class. Dave Barry says that he sets his Vox AC30 to 6 too. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Do you know what? I always set every single switch, or every knob. I just find a point where it makes the most difference. So if you like sweep the bass control, say there's a point on it on my Victory, it's about 11 o'clock, but it like jumps up in reaction, and I just set it just before the jump. I do that for every single control apart from the gain and the volume. And then that's it. Yeah, done. I feel like that's the most open. I think I'll nick that from TPS, but I don't know. Maybe. Dan Mitchell says that it's the P90 version, I believe. I do prefer the P90 version to the humbucker version. I'm running out of P90 guitars. I've only got 2, so
I need to get a humbucker guitar though. Man, that's the one thing that I lack in my collection.
Really?
Like, everything I've got single coil.
Yeah,
I don't have this single coil.
Yeah, that's the best combination.
Mm-hmm.
P90 and a humbucker. That's the one.
Such a beauty. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I love a good P90.
My friend made this for me.
Yeah, I've got guitars with P90 types. Oh, sweet. Yeah,
Man.
that's the one
It's
that
got
you did the
Hello
relic
Sailor
video
in the
on.
headstock in the Gibson book.
Yeah.
That's the one you did the heavy relic video on too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of the rat tail as well. Although I've got to say, since getting a stop tail Les Paul, I'm like, I've been missing this in my life. It just feels completely different. Like the string tension is, even with a top wrap, it's just different. Very different.
That's one reason why I like a Bigsby on a 335 too. Like a 335 with a Bigsby feels so different from a like 335 with just like a regular hardtail.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. The hardtail's the Clapton thing, isn't it? Like a Cherry 335 is like the Clapton guitar. Just like sort after
And
one,
you know, the Bigsby is like the Dwayne. Well, I mean, you kind of associate Bigsby's with the Gretsch a lot of times, but there's a lot of like 335 players that used them too. And it just gives you a slinkiness. And when you bend the strings, like it's almost like the guitar is like working with you to bend rather than you having to fight it. So you're able to bend, you know, further up into the octave range than if you were not bending on a Bigsby, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh man. Class. Well,
here we are in a pedal
apologies,
show talking about guitars. Yeah,
I know. I'm gonna have to cut the podcast short. I've got my my wife's messaging me 7,000 times. Like, don't start talking about random stuff. Have you seen my new guitar? Mate, Ferdy, thank you so much for coming on. I feel like we need to do this again.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We've got to.
Yeah,
it's fine, guys.
We would love to have you back.
And
we're gonna do an All-Stars episode soon, aren't we?
Oh, we need to. I mean, we've had enough people on. We need to have another one. And also, I'm going to send you some copies of schematics that I've been working with, and like get your ideas, and like so you can like run some different things by.
Thank you.
Yeah, the harmonic, the harmonic percolator thing. The circuit that I came up with came from 5 different schematics. It's a combination of 5 different existing schematics that are out there. So I want to see like how close, you know, you settled in on it, or if there's any ideas that you have.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
It's interesting, eh? And remember, folks, the pedal build kits are out there on the website now. It's £60 for the build it yourself watching the episode, and I think it might be £80 or £100 for the. I think it's £80 for the build with us live on a show. All you need to build with us is a set of headphones that you can make a call on and a phone. That is it. If you've got them things, and a solder and iron.
I was going to say, wait a minute, yeah. you need a few other tools.
I mean, to get on a live stream, all you need is a phone and some headphones. And there's only 2 of the live kits available because you'll be live with both me and John. The live build is going to be the 6th of October. There we go. Cheers. I've been Hello Sailor Joe. Hope you all have a wonderful evening.
I've been John Mulholland, Space Wolf, and it's been a pleasure having Ferry on. Thank you again for joining us, and look forward to having you on again too, man.
I've been Ferry. Thanks for the opportunity, and it was nice talking to you guys.